Chapter 941. The fake Lan Lan had a few powerful senior women by his side. They were worried that the little girl would run away. After a while, she was about to start paying her respects. As long as she was willing, Lan Lan would be Wu Jingsheng's wife. Now, Chen Shang started to suspect that the Flying Immortal School marrying Lan Lan would be because of the blue blood bead. If not, the dignified Flying Immortal School would not use the power of the entire sect just to get a woman. First bow to the heavens and the earth. Second bow to the high hall. Husband and wife bow to each other. After the couple finished bowing, Lan Lan urged them, "Big brother scoundrel, quickly change, quickly change." Chen Shang laughed, controlling the god power inside the fake Lan Lan to dissipate. Just as everyone was celebrating, the fake Lan Lan's body suddenly grew larger, and broke his clothes, only to see a black wild boar suddenly appearing in front of them. Seeing that, everyone was stunned, but Wu Jingsheng seemed to have been struck by lightning. He retreated a few steps and his body swayed, almost falling down. Following that, a mouthful of blood surged out from his throat. The blood in his mouth was like a fountain, and he fell down. This is actually a pig. Could this be a product of the blue blood race's special inherent skill? Quote, "What a misfortune for a family. This brat actually went and paid respects to a pig. From the looks of it, that pig is still a male." Cough, cough. Some people were already on the verge of bursting into laughter. "Isn't this a black-skinned pig for eating? It's quite big." Quote. Many people in the Great Hall were gloating in their hearts. Those who dared to speak were all relatively powerful. Wu Shu's entire body trembled, the muscles on his face twitched, and his veins popped, as though he would explode at any time. Sensing the cold killing intent from his body, many people shut their mouths. Lan Lan, who was still holding onto her stomach, started laughing maniacally in the room, to the point that she couldn't even breathe. No one present didn't know that 2 days ago, Lan Lan was saved by someone, and then easily chased back. Now that they thought about it, it turned out that this person had actually sent a pig out on purpose. Everyone was guessing who exactly was coming to save Lan Lan. To think that there would be such a powerful method to turn a big black pig into a cute little girl, and to even deceive many people. Many of the blue blood warriors had their abilities kept a secret. Everyone started to suspect if Lan Lan's grandfather had come out of closed-door cultivation. The great formation of the Flying Immortal School was completely closed. Chen Shang easily left the Flying Immortal School, and many people who came from the Flying Immortal School could not wait to spread the news of the great event that happened inside. In just a few short hours, everyone in the cities surrounding Flying Immortal School knew that Wu Jingsheng had married a pig. As the leader, although Wu Shu's son's strength was not bad, he still acted so tyrannically, causing the people in the nearby cities to feel disgust. Everyone was happy to see such a thing happen, and the entire Flying Immortal School became a laughingstock. In the dragon-subduing Dan Hall, Lan Lan and Yan Yanren were hugging each other tightly, then narrated what happened on the spot with his mouth full of foam, causing him to giggle continuously. "This move of yours is too poisonous, but I like it," Li Baojun walked over and said while laughing. "Who asked them to bully my dragon-subduing school? Although my dragon-subduing school isn't very strong now, I can still retaliate." Chen Shang laughed. With Yan Yanren's agile movements and the mysterious 9 lives demon cat, both of them would definitely become experts assassins. Of course, to investigate the mystery behind the matter, it wasn't much of a big deal. Chen Shang had even planned to refine some powerful poisonous hidden weapons for them. Even if they had to face some powerful warriors, they would have the ability to protect themselves. "I will let you guys suffer for a while, so don't show your faces for now. When the dragon-subduing school becomes stronger, you will definitely be able to hold your heads up high," Chen Shang said to Yan Yanren and Lan Lan in a serious tone. "It's alright, as long as everyone is fine." Yan Yanren gently caressed Lan Lan's hair. With a charming and gentle smile on her face, it could be seen that she had a very good relationship with Lan Lan, and their relationship was like that of sisters. Lan Lan also nodded. In this past year, she had been worried all day whether Yan Yanren would be bullied by the Flying Immortal School, but now that she saw that Yan Yanren was alright, she was very happy. "Yanren, Lan Lan, in the future, the two of you will be responsible for finding all sorts of useful information for the dragon-subduing school. Think about the details and direction first. Figure out the situation of the pill stores in Pill City. What kind of pills are they selling the most? How much are they priced at? What kind of stock they have? And who are the alchemists users in refining these pills? You two must produce a detailed list at regular intervals and hand it over to the elder Li," Chen Shang said. No problem, I can sneak in and steal their bills, Lan Lan laughed, I have done this many times before. Chen Shang nodded his head. You need a large number of spar to go to elderly to get them, you can also develop your network, and you can use spar to buy information, but you have to remember, do not reveal your identity, and do not reveal the affairs of Dragon Subduing School. Li Baojun said, if you need any elixirs in cultivation, I will do my best to satisfy your requirements. Lan Lan laughed, from now on, I will be Elder Blue, and Big Sister Yanya will be Elder Yan. Haha. The number of people in Dragon Subduing School was still too little, and he had to trust the people who recruited them. Chen Shang felt that it was time to go and poach in Super Martial School, although he would definitely be scolded to death by Ji Yudongchen and the others when the time came. Just as the news of Wu Jingsheng and the Big Black Pig paying their respects had spread to the entire south, another shocking news had arrived. The Flying Immortal School's ancestral tombs had actually been dug up, and after the great formation of the ancestral tombs had been broken, many treasures and gems were scattered all over the cities near the Flying Immortal School. The most precious thing in the ancestral tombs did not appear, and with a thought, one could tell that it had been taken away by the people who stole the tombs. Flying Immortal School was truly unlucky in 8 lifetimes. When these two things were combined together, it made many of the old fellows in Flying Immortal School mad with anger, because they were unable to vent out their anger. Without even thinking, it was obvious that the matter of the tomb robbing was done by members of the Duan clan. Their Flying Immortal School's tomb had long since been visited by the Duan clan. What angered Flying Immortal School the most was that many of the tombs of various sizes had been dug up. This way, the leader would have no choice but to gather the disciples outside to prepare to attack the Duan clan. When Chen Shang heard about this, he thought to himself, Changzi is really too ruthless. He dug everything up so hard that not even a single strand of hair remains. He must have obtained a lot of good stuff. Leader, there's a guy outside seeking an audience. He said that he had cheated with you before, and he specifically called for you. It looks like he knows you're here, Li Baojun said as he furrowed his brows. Only a few of them knew about the matter between Chen Shang and Dragon Subduing Dan Hall. Quick, let him in, this brat is the one who dug up the tombs of the Flying Immortal School, Chen Shang laughed. Chapter 942. Duan Sanchang looked to be in a very sorry state. He had disguised himself to look like a hunchbacked old man with white hair. Looking at him, he looked like he was about to burp. Although he did not know how to change his appearance, he had used a disguise technique to change his appearance, which made Chen Shang admire him a lot. Little guy, what did you dig out at the ancestral grave of the Flying Immortal School? It's said that tens of thousands of ancient treasures flew out of that large tomb, and all the good treasures are in your hands, Li Baojun said as he rubbed his hands and laughed. He knew that the people Chen Shang knew were not ordinary people, and Duan Sanchang, for example, was in front of him. Duan Sanchang took a sip of tea and scolded, I couldn't even get a hair, those magic treasures that were sent flying are all trash, that tomb was dug up to the point where there wasn't even a fart left. I was killed this time. The tomb robber was too clever with his methods earlier and took away the good stuff inside without touching the restrictions on the outside, so no one in Flying Immortal School knew that their tomb was dug out. In the end, all of those trash treasures flew out. Although the tomb is like a palace, but after I searched for a long time inside, I found nothing good. Furthermore, my identity was exposed, and the old fellow from Flying Immortal School found out that I was Duan Sanchang. Chen Shang laughed. At that time, you threatened to dig up all of the ancestors' graves in Flying Immortal School, who doesn't know? Li Baojun sighed, it really isn't worth it, you took the blame for nothing, many people are now suspecting that you have the good stuff in your hands. Duan Sanchang sighed to the sky, that's right, you must know that the tombs of the Flying Immortal School have powerful restrictions, and even the old fellows of the Flying Immortal School do not dare to move. I worked hard to break those restrictions, and I didn't even get a fart, and I was even chased down by the entire world. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, do you plan to rely on me? Nonsense, if I don't want to rely on you, why would I look for you? Chen Shang, I'm determined to stay in your Dragon Subduing School, don't chase me away, Duan Sanchang shamelessly said, with my tomb robbing abilities, I might have to become an elder or something. Li Baojun shook his head. Elder isn't worth much in the Dragon Subduing School. Up till now, the only people I know who are willing to join the Dragon Subduing School, other than him, are elders. For example, Lan Lan and Yan Yanran, the two girls, one is Elder Blue, the other is Elder Yan, I am the Elder Li, and now there's this Elder Duan. And I, this Dragon Elder, Long Shui muttered to himself in the serene jade ring. Chen Shang laughed. What's there to be surprised about? With so many elders, there will be more disciples in the future. Duan Sancheng rubbed his chin and said, Chen Shang, you let Wu Jingsheng and Zhu Qidong play with each other thoroughly, although I went through that tomb for nothing, but I have still found some things. I suspect that my grandfather dug that grave away because as long as we can find my grandfather, he might be able to bring us to find even more ancient tombs, and dig even better things. Then do you have any clues about your grandfather? Chen Shang asked. Do you agree that I should join the dragon subduing school? Duan Sancheng asked. Elder Li is in charge of concocting pills, while Elder Blue and Elder Yan are in charge of gathering information. May I ask what happened to you, Superintendent? Chen Shang asked with a smile. I'm in charge of robbing other people's tombs. I will not take all the good stuff I find, and I can also impart some appearance-changing techniques, formation-breaking techniques, etc. Don't doubt the abilities of my Duan clan. Our Duan clan only has a few people left, but no ancient power would dare to touch us, Duan Sancheng said proudly. Okay, I will let you join, but this matter cannot be spread out for now, wait until after Three Realms talk, Chen Shang said. Duan Sancheng stood up immediately, and said respectfully to Li Baojun, please take care of me, Elder Li. Li Baojun smiled. He was extremely interested in the Duan clan's matter, especially that method of stealing tombs. One must know that many ancient powers couldn't even find their own ancestral tombs, but this Duan clan could. Leader, will our dragon subduing school be full of elders in the future? Duan Sancheng laughed. Definitely not, but it's normal for a large power to have many elders. Duan Sancheng nodded his head. My grandfather had disappeared since I was very young, and he once visited the ancestral tombs of Flying Immortal School. However, at that time, he only went there, and did not dig anything. Even the Flying Immortal School were certain of this point, but in reality, the place was already dug up empty, and only some trash treasures were left to confuse others. My grandfather left some traces inside. It was left behind by a tomb guarding restriction. That restriction was a star map, but it was modified by someone, and that method is something only our Duan clan has. Although it has been modified, that restriction did not lose its effectiveness, but became stronger instead. Chen Shang and Li Baojun were also very suspicious. Why did he do it? I think that my grandfather was coerced into stealing the tomb by someone else and that he might have deliberately changed the restriction, leaving a clue for me to go find him. After that time, my grandfather disappeared, and my grandfather knows a lot of people from that history, so I think that someone must have followed his disappearance. According to that star map, I found a general location. It's in the southeast region. It's said that the Three Realms talk is also held there. Other than that, there's also a dangerous place there that accompanied the rebirth of DTN, just like the rough and random profound land. Chen Shang and Li Baojun frowned. They did know that place. It was called Heaven Thunder Purgatory, a huge whirlpool that appeared in the sky. The whirlpool was extremely huge, enveloping an area of 1,000 li. At the same time, it would spin slowly, releasing terrifying amounts of lightning, and sometimes it would even send out terrifying, concentrated heavenly lightning. However, at night, the airflow of the whirlpool would emit light. From afar, it looked like a beautiful rainbow disk that was slowly rotating. Duan Sancheng continued, I have investigated this place. At night, the center of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, in other words, the black domain in the center of the whirlpool has a strong suction force. It might be hiding something, and I've asked my great-uncle and some of the old guys from the Duan clan for help. They actually know what kind of place this is, but they didn't tell me. I feel that when the time comes, the Three Realms talk will be related to this Heaven Thunder Purgatory and we might all go in together. The clue my grandfather left would be pointing towards this damned place. If Ji Meixian didn't know, then he would go to the Dragon Subduing School to find Zuo Junshuan. If the Three Realms talk's goal was the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, then he might have to change his plans. Chapter 943. Rather, he taught Yan Yanran and Lan Lan some of the techniques needed to break through the array. Seeing him diligently guide Yan Yanran and Lan Lan, Chen Shang wondered if this little grave robber wanted to train these two women to be female grave robbers. Chen Shang had been refining creation divine liquid or cultivating innate chi all day in Dragon Subduing Dan Hall. He had only gone through the second stage of Nirvana tribulation, so he was still far from being able to reach the top. If the Dragon Subduing School wanted to become stronger, Li Baojun would need to hold on to it alone, and even have a group of strong young warriors as the foundation. Thus, he had to provide a large number of high-leveled pills, so that Lan and the others could quickly raise their strength. In these 2 months, Chen Shang condensed many creation divine liquid, and his innate chi had also increased by a lot, since he had only refined 5 elements profound Dan. In order to speed up his cultivation, he had no choice but to use this pill. Chen Shang would look for Li Baojun every once in a while. Knowing that the best medicine to sell was in Pill City, he asked Su Meiyao and Bai Yu to duplicate a large amount of medicinal herbs inside. The most expensive one was of course, the Zhuji Dan S. Although the human realm had become very big, the Zhuji Dan S still lacked the necessary ingredients, and even though they could be bought from the market, they were extremely expensive. The Zhuji Dan S were lower-graded profound-level pills, but their prices were higher than middle-ranked profound-level pills. The high-quality Zhuji Dan have already risen to 2,150,000. If they were to sell for 2.5 million, there would still be people fighting for them, Yan Yanren said. These were all things that she and Lan needed to find, and they were things that could only be bought by people who had a good relationship with these pill shops. The majority of medicinal ingredients come from purchases, and because Qing profound fruit are not easy to grow, and also mature over a long period of time, that's why the price of Zhuji Dan is so high, Lan said. The more powerful alchemist could at most refine 2 pieces of Zhuji Dan, and the quality couldn't be guaranteed yet, but Chen Shang, this monster, could at least refine 4 of them of high quality in one furnace. Elder Li, I have a lot of Zhuji Dan S here. If you refine your own ingredients, can you make 4 of them in one furnace? Chen Shang asked. Elder Li frowned slightly. 3 high-quality pills in a pot is my limit. Everyone present knew that Chen Zhang's pill refining skills were very high, they knew it just by looking at Li Baojun's expression. When Li Baojun compared the number of pills, they all felt that they were inferior. Then, it will be selling for about 2 million each. Then, it will be selling for about 4 million each of the middle grade profound level S, and then it will be selling for about 7 to 8 million spar S of upper grade. The sales volume of the ground level pellets are not high either, Yan Yanren said. The reason why the ground level S were not sold was because there were too few of them, and not many could afford to buy them. Chen Shang also planned to place emphasis on the profound level pills, because the difficulty of this level of the pill production was not high, it spread through the entire population, and there were not many creation divine liquid that were needed. We do not lack spar now, we only lack a reputation. If we make the name of the dragon subduing school resounding, then in the future, many things will become very convenient. This will allow us to quickly strengthen our forces and rope in more powerful warriors, Chen Shang said. Yan Yanren, Lan and the others knew that Chen Shang had already obtained a dragon vein, so he didn't lack spar S. Chen Shang laughed. Of course, I will also be in charge of refining a few pills, I hope that Elder Li can recruit a few higher-leveled alchemists. Although the Dan Fragrance Pure Land provided many medicinal ingredients, most of them were of lower quality and were unable to take over the market. After Li Baojun received Chen Zhang's storage ring and saw the herbs inside, he was so shocked that he almost lost his balance. If he could refine them all, there would be more than 10,000 pills for each pellet. I say, leader, after I finished refining these, even my old bones are going to fall apart, Li Baojun said as he laughed bitterly. Relax, it's not like I'm letting you finish refining all of them in one go, this is a very good selling pellet, release 20 of each every day, and if possible, try the method of bidding. Elder Li, you will be in charge of refining this pellet, but the other low-leveled pellets will be left to the other alchemists to refine, Chen Shang said. There are already 100 Zhuji Dan, 500 Chunyuan Gold Dan, 200 Profound Yang Fire Dan, 1,005 Elements Junyuan Dan, and 500 longevity pellets inside. Duan Sanchang, Lan and Yan Yanren were all very surprised at where Chen Shang had gotten these medicinal herbs from, and had even concocted so many pills. They could imagine that Chen Shang normally eating medicinal pellets was like eating a meal. He had eaten some of these previously refined by Chen Shang himself, but he had only eaten them as candy. These low-leveled pills did not have much effect on him, but to many low-leveled warriors, they were treasures, things that the big sects were willing to spend a large number of spar S to buy. Longevity pills are relatively easy to sell and can be used for auction because a single pill can extend a person's life by 3 to 50 years. To many people, these are immortal pills, Yan Yanren said. Chen Shang nodded, and said to Li Baojun, Elder Li, take this opportunity to consolidate your foundation, so that each furnace can produce even more pills. Li Baojun was a dignified Dan king, and being warned by Chen Shang like this made Lan Lan and the other two feel that it was a little bad. After all, they were all from Dan King, so they had to give them some face. Li Baojun had once lost to Chen Shang in pill refining, so he was completely convinced of Chen Zhang's capabilities. He nodded continuously, making Duan Sanchang and the others feel that it was hard to understand. Chen Shang looked at Duan Sanchang and the others, and laughed. You guys are suspecting my pill refining skills, right? Lan Lan pouted her small mouth. This elder Li is a Dan King after all, he definitely won't be that much worse than you. Duan Sanchang nodded. That's right, and he is the true successor of Li Tianjin. Leader, I admit that I lost to you before, but in these few years, I have also improved, so I want to compete with you again. Although my cultivation and age is at a great disadvantage against you, but when the time comes, we should be clear about the outcome. Li Baojun thought about this matter and felt that this was a very good opportunity for a competition. Elder Li, I feel that you will still lose to me. How about I show my skills? This is something I just learned, Chen Shang laughed. Although he had only learned a little of the great thousand refinements art inside the heavenly alchemy and could refine 10 times, it was still quite shocking. Yan Yanran suddenly thought about the scene of Chen Shang refining the city lord into a pill. She suspected that Chen Shang was planning to reveal this move. If you can force me to concede with just a move, then I want to see, Li Baojun said with a smile. Then let's begin, let me broaden my horizons. Chapter 944. No one knew what stage Chen Zhang's alchemy level had risen to, because the people who were currently being chased down by the whole world would never show up to participate in the alchemy competitions, nor would they go to the Dan Alliance to undergo the alchemist level examination. Otherwise, if he appeared, he would have attracted the attention of many old fellows. With regards to Chen Zhang's pill refining level, everyone only waited until he impersonated Li Renshan to be able to concoct a few types of mid-ranked ground-level pills. According to the Dan Alliance's rank, he could be considered a great alchemist. In order for Chen Shang to refine high-grade ground-level pills, he would need to raise his foreseeing alchemy to the next 3 stages, and learning how to use the heavenly alchemy would allow him to strengthen his soul more quickly. This would be of great help to him in refining pills. You guys better watch carefully, don't blink. Chen Shang waved his hand, and 10 batches of Zhuji Dan's medicinal ingredients flew out, all of them floating in the air. The following 10 magic method furnace were formed, but others could not see them. 10 batches of processed medicinal ingredients all entered the magic method furnace S. Chen Shang waved his hands, and countless balls of fire floated into the magic method furnace S. Seeing this scene, Li Baojun's mouth dropped. He knew what Chen Shang was doing, he actually wanted to refine 10 batches of Zhuji Dan at the same time. Lan Lan and Yan Yanran also took a deep breath. Chen Zhang's unique skill of not using the pill furnace to refine pills had reappeared, and they were always this shocked when they saw it. Duan Sanchang was so scared that he did not even dare to breathe. After the Zhuji Dan's medicine was burned by the flames, it quickly melted. The green and gold light enveloped the room and turned into a sea of light, drowning everyone inside. Li Baojun and the others did not feel any unbearably hot air, although they could see the flames dancing around, and could tell how ruthless Chen Zhang's attack was, not to mention that it was 10 batches long. What shocked Li Baojun the most was that all of this was too brief, and after they saw the beautiful multicolored light, Chen Shang had already entered the stage of condensing a core. It's actually 10 pills. 10 batches of pills at the same time, and 4 pills at the same time. Li Baojun screamed crazily in his heart, he could not believe it. Now he understood why Chen Shang wanted him to work so hard. He could only produce 3 pills in one furnace, but Chen Shang could only concoct 40 pills, the difference was not even a little bit. He firmly believed that Chen Shang could do the same thing in the future with high-level pills, and he even had an even more shocking method. Soon enough, the 40 balls of azure gold chi started to revolve rapidly, slowly searching and pressing, condensing into 40 pellets in a sea of light. The light in the room also slowly went up, a rich medicinal fragrance filled the entire room, and Chen Shang kept the 40 pellets into a jade box. Li Baojun's eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. He took the jade box and looked carefully, these Zhuji Dan were all of high quality. I also just learned this a while ago, Chen Shang smirked. Duan Sanchang gulped down his saliva. Forget about Chen Shang having a large amount of medicinal ingredients, he could actually make them in batches during pill refining. He had already seen how the dragon subduing Dan Hall would shake the entire pill city in the future. Elder Li, do you still want to compete with me? Li Baojun shook his head. Chen Zhang's control over pill refining had already far surpassed his own. Moreover, Chen Zhang's pursuit for perfection in pill refining was extremely difficult for him to compare to. Yanran, Lan, you guys can rest for a while and cultivate in peace. Young people like us, we must increase our strength quickly, or else with our current strength, as elders and leaders, it would be hard for us to convince the masses. Did not have to worry too much about their cultivation. As for Duan Sanchang, he had his own cultivation method too. In the next period of time, Chen Shang spent all his time meditating on the God-slain method. The technique of using spirit to attack was extremely profound. It was extremely difficult for him to comprehend it. He could only rely on a little to comprehend it. There was some news regarding the Yuming Deep Abyss that spread to Dan City. On that day, Chen Shang had a play with Duan Sanchang and tricked many people to go to the Yuming Deep Abyss to look for the Black Tortoise divine weapon. However, many experts did not come up after they went down. Chen Shang knew very well that there were some powerful people down there that no profound WU diamond armor would be able to go down to. Every time the dragon subduing Dan Hall released a rare pill, they would sell it at a different pill shop, causing the business in the dragon subduing Dan Hall to become better and better. Many sects would send people to guard here, and sometimes Li Baojun would even lower the price a lot in order to seize the market. The large pill stores that were bustling with business before had now become deserted, because not only were the dragon subduing Dan Hall's pills cheap, they were many in quantity, of good quality, and extremely attractive. As long as a person had a spar, they would always come here a second time to buy pills. Chen Zhang's pills were not worth much, but the ones in those large pill stores were extremely valuable. They were all pills that they had spent a lot of effort to grow, so if they were to lower the price, they would definitely lose out. The dragon subduing Dan Hall messed up the market price, which made many large pill shops extremely dissatisfied. These pill shops had already secretly joined together, planning to punish the dragon subduing Dan Hall. Chen Shang did it on purpose, because those good trading pill shops were all established by the ancient powers, and one of them was the Alliance Masters. He hated this group of people the most. If he had the chance to deal with this group of people, he would definitely not let them go. This street of the dragon subduing Dan Hall had become very lively. The originally remote area had become a lively district due to the help of the dragon subduing Dan Hall. If this continued, the central region would be banned. The most infuriating thing was that a large portion of shops and streets in this remote area had been bought by dragon subduing Dan Hall at a very low price. The land bought by the dragon subduing Dan Hall was extremely vast, with the dragon subduing Dan Hall as the center. The 100 streets around were all occupied by the dragon subduing Dan Hall. This was something that Chen Shang and Li Baojun had planned. They did not lack spars. Their goal was to expand their area of influence. If this continued, the location of the Pill City's bustling area would have to change. The Dan Alliance's headquarters was originally the central area, and the large amount of shops around were controlled by the ancient powers. If there was no more commotion, those shops would naturally turn into a ghost shop, which many forces were not willing to see, and they had to prevent the dragon subduing Dan Hall from developing like this. Chen Shang was concocting pills in the secret room, while Li Baojun was standing outside. After Chen Shang sensed his presence, he opened the door of the secret room. "Those guys are here?" Chen Shang asked. Li Baojun nodded his head. There are a total of 13 shops in the Dan King, as well as the chief of the Dan Alliance and some elders from various powers. Chapter 945. Chen Shang already knew that these people would come and find trouble with him, so he smiled and said, "Let them wait outside for a few days first. If they dare to do anything out of bounds, I will return it tenfold. It seems like they are planning to buy our low-priced pills, but I'm afraid they won't succeed. We can only buy them, and all those precious pills are for auction or by the sect. They won't go to them, even if they are bought at a high price. We will not be the ones to lose them," Li Baojun said. Duan Sanchang suddenly ran over and shouted, "Our shopkeeper has been beaten up. The puncher is very arrogant. I heard he is a Dan King." Li Baojun immediately became furious. "So what if you're a Dan King? I'll beat my shopkeeper and call him back so that he can burn down all of their Feng clan's stores." Chen Zhang's face was calm, but his heart was full of anger. He changed his appearance and followed behind Li Baojun, at the same time using the sound transmission to tell Yan Yanran to sneak into Feng clan's shop and burn her again. Because of Zhao Yiprofound's words, White Sea Imperial Land had become more obedient and didn't dare to offend anyone anymore. She was steadily developing. That was why Ji Meixian sat in the position of her heavenly girl in White Sea Imperial Land. In the past few days, the Feng clan and the Flying Immortal School were the most snobbish, followed by Qianzan Mountain and the Dan Alliance's chief alliance. Amongst those people who came to cause trouble, there was actually a Flying Immortal School. They had just suffered a double blow and now they were this arrogant. The owner of the dragon-subduing Dan Hall was a simple and honest little old man. Now that he was beaten up until his nose was blue and his face swollen, this made Li Baojun angry to the point that his face turned green. Li Baojun's angry voice was like a shockwave, shaking many people's blood and qi. The entire Pill City was shaken to the point that it even slightly trembled. It was obvious that he was truly angry. Many of the young people in the hall were extremely upset by the sound wave. Fortunately, the Dan King released their powers to protect them, otherwise, they would all vomit blood. Duan Sancheng pointed at an old man with long eyebrows and said, "It's this guy. He claims to be Feng Clan." The long-browed old man was still very arrogant after beating someone up. Originally, Chen Shang and Li Baojun thought that they would cause a commotion for them, at most, they would just cause some trouble, but they did not expect to beat him up. Li Baojun's face sunk. He was the pavilion master, he had to take responsibility for the safety of all the employees of Dragon Subduing Dan Hall. He was so arrogant that he had been bullied by others, how could he not be angry? "I will give you two choices, either you kneel down and kowtow to my shopkeeper, or you die. You have no other choice." Li Baojun's voice was ice cold and carried a dense killing intent, his angry face was terrifying, and even Chen Shang was frightened. If Li Baojun did this, perhaps many powers in Dan City would surround Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, but Chen Shang was very supportive of it. No matter what, people from Dragon Subduing School must not be bullied. "You, HMPH, I am a dignified Dan King, wanting me to kneel and kowtow to this fellow, what a delusion," the old man with long eyebrows sneered. Li Baojun swept a glance over the other Dan King who had followed along, and his gaze finally landed on the Alliance Master. When he said that, a ball of multicolored flame suddenly appeared in Li Baojun's hair. Seeing that flame, many alchemists were stunned. Legend has it that the depths of Earth's core fire realm was filled with multicolored flames. Li Baojun was actually able to control this kind of flame, and if it was ignited, it would be difficult to resist. Li Baojun roared, he waved his hand and struck out with his palm, 5 different colored interweaving flames that formed a palm blade, sweeping towards the long-browed old man. Bang! The fire palm landed on the long-browed old man's face. The speed was so fast that many people were unable to stop it. After the fire palm landed on the old man's face, a burst of hot air came out, followed by the long-browed old man's head exploding into white ashes. A sliver of 5 elements heavenly fire landed on the old man's body, and in the blink of an eye, the headless body was turned into ashes. Li Baojun's power was similar to many of the giants of the ancient powers. They were all immortals who had just passed through the 9 nirvana tribulations, but since Li Baojun had such a terrifying flame like the 5 elements heavenly fire and was also an alchemist, his power was naturally much stronger than many other people. "I am just an alchemist, I do not wish to kill anyone, you better not force me to do it," Li Baojun said in a gloomy voice. When his eyes that contained killing intent swept across the crowd, it caused everyone's hearts to fiercely beat, as though they were afraid that he would smack them to death with one palm. At first, these people thought that Li Baojun was easy to bully, and that they just wanted to find Li Baojun to ask him about the matters of the Dragon Subduing School to get that dragon vein, but now that Li Baojun had revealed such a terrifying strength, they were definitely not people they could deal with. "If you don't want to die, hurry up and scram, you are already big and strong, yet you still dare to do such a thing that will only lower your status. You are only fit to be weaklings." Li Baojun completely detested this group of people. He finally understood why Chen Shang would take the risk of being hunted down by the entire world in order to be hostile to these powers. They left the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall in a panic. All these people were Dan King, or were of decent strength, but compared to Li Baojun, they were far too lacking. Li Baojun could kill them with a single slap, and Li Baojun had kept his promise. "So boring, these bunch of cowards," Duan Sancheng ridiculed. "They will be back before long, and when the time comes, they will bring even stronger people with them. At that time, I will definitely let them see how powerful I, Li Baojun, am." The hand Li Baojun revealed just now also surprised Chen Shang. That 5 elements heavenly fire was definitely stronger than his own heaven fire. Unless his heaven fire could evolve into a heavenly flame, it would be impossible to defeat Li Baojun in terms of flames. Lan Lan and Yan Yanran returned very quickly, and thick smoke covered the sky above Pill City. Lan Lan and Yan Yanran were supposed to be responsible for the things that were done in the dark, including assassinations. Seems like Pill City has let us go. From their postures today, they want to chase us out of the city, said Yan Yanran. She had changed into a normal-looking girl. We had thought about it long ago. If they wanted to chase us away, they would have to take back the premises first. According to the contract, if they wanted to take them back, they would have to pay 100 times their current value. Since the price has risen a lot, if they wanted to take back the goods, they would definitely suffer a huge loss. Lan Lan asked, what if they do not follow the agreement? Li Baojun snorted gloomily, flapping her sleeves and sending a gust of wind, blowing away the white ashes on the ground. The fish dies and the net breaks. At that time, it won't be a problem for me to destroy this pill city by myself, but our dragon subduing school has spars, or pills, we can afford to play with them. Chapter 946. Although there were a dozen or so Dan King in each force, these were all carefully nurtured by them over the years. Once one was lost, it would be difficult to cultivate them in a short period of time. The 3 words, Dragon Subduing School, would once again engulf the entire Pill City, even the entire southern region, and actually dare to blatantly kill the Dan King of another power. Even if there were conflicts between different powers and the Dan King, it would all be resolved in secret, so even if that power lost the Dan King and did not seek revenge, it would still be reasonable in terms of face, because no one knew who did it. Now that the Dragon Subduing School had brazenly killed the Dan King, it was like a declaration of war on the part of the Feng clan. Other than Chen Shang and the others, no one knew the strength of the Dragon Subduing School, because the Dragon Subduing School had suddenly appeared. It occupied the entire Dragon Vein and even had a Dragon Subduing Dan Hall that was comparable to a large medicine shop. The Dragon Subduing School gave off a mysterious feeling. It was very powerful, because this Dragon Subduing School had 1 Dragon Vein, and was hidden inside the evil dragon graveyard. No one knew what kind of experts were inside, but many people didn't think that the evil dragon graveyard was weak. Chen Shang and Li Baojun wanted others to think that the Dragon Subduing School was very strong. Now that they were this strong, many people thought that it was true. The Dragon Subduing Dan Hall had become very cold and cheerless. Those who dared to come here to buy pills all had some ability. In fact, the entire Pill City had suddenly become very quiet, like a ghost city, shrouded in a solemn aura. The Dan King was killed in the afternoon, but after just over 2 hours, a dozen white-haired old men in blue robes appeared in the transmission array plaza in Dan City. These 10 old men came with expressionless faces, their bodies overflowing with waves of cold wind, causing their blue robes to flutter as they walked, their steps slow and steady, a formless killing intent that was accompanied by the cold wind that silently covered the cold streets. The war was about to begin. Many of the people hiding in front of the houses were extremely nervous. Some of them had already started to run out of the city. Although it was prohibited to start wars in Pill City, the Feng clan was still one of the people who did. Since the Dan Alliance did not stop him, it meant that the Feng clan had obtained his tacit approval to go against him. The Dan Alliance was formed by a group of powerful Dan Kings, and it affected the business of many shops. It meant that they were challenging the entire Dan Alliance, and now that the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall had killed the Dan King, the Feng clan had sent their experts to take revenge. They were happy to see that. Inside the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, Li Baojun's expression was cold, his eyebrows knitted together slightly. He walked out of the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, and saw the 10 elders walking towards him, his body releasing a burst of blazing fire. After that, the fire turned into a vaguely visible Qilin, flying towards the street corner. When the 10 Feng clan rankers released that biting cold wind, they suffered a fierce impact from the fire Qilin, and it exploded with a loud bang. Are you here to die? Li Baojun's voice was calm, but the sound wave had reverberated in every street and carried a kind of oppressive might. Chen Shang had long ago sent Duan Sanchang, Lan Lan and Yan Yanran away, telling them to temporarily stay far away from the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall. Inside the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, he was the only one looking for him. Li Baojun had said before that he could handle it alone and fight against the heroes of Feng clan alone. We are here to send you to your death, to kill the Dan King of my Feng clan. You have guts, even if you obtain the Dragon Fountain, our Feng clan will not be afraid of you. An old man from the Feng clan shouted. Standing at the street corner, he was over 100 meters away as he waved his hand and released a palm strike. A black chi vortex roared out like a devil, roaring towards Li Baojun. The black wind attacked and swept away all the doors and stores on both sides of the street. The stone tiles on the ground were all lifted up, and after they came in contact with that terrifying black astral wind, they were all smashed into smithereens. Li Baojun laughed coldly. What Feng clan was best at was using all kinds of wind to attack, and what Li Baojun was best at dealing with was precisely this type of wind-attributed attack. A fan covered in red crystal scales suddenly appeared in his hand. The Kylan fan was a holy level artifact. It was as powerful as a holy level dragon equipment. Chen Shang had seen him use this fan to instantly exterminate a few strong warriors before. Li Baojun held the Kylan fan in his hand, and his entire arm overflowed with multicolored light. One could tell that he was using the 5 elements heavenly fire, and just as the terrifying black astral wind was about to hit him, he waved the Kylan fan with great force. The multicolored light suddenly exploded, and the light shot up to the sky as a huge rainbow Qilin beast appeared in front of Li Baojun. The Qilin was tall, powerful, robust and full of power. Its scales were shining with a rainbow light, looking extremely lifelike, as if Li Baojun had suddenly summoned it. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The black astral wind collided with the rainbow Qilin's body, causing it to let out a furious roar. Then, with 4 robust and powerful legs stepping on top of its body, it rumbled as it madly rushed towards the street corner. Not long ago, a few experts from the Feng clan were killed by someone using a similar method outside the city. Now, many of the experts who were hiding at the side to watch immediately thought of this and were sure that it was Li Baojun and the other experts from the Feng clan who killed them. The Kylan fan in Li Baojun's hands made the eyes of many practitioners who were watching the battle blaze with passion, causing them to wish that they could snatch it away. There were even some who recognized that it was the famous Kylan fan of Heaven Realm. The 10 old men did not dodge. Instead, they all began to circulate their powerful innate qi, letting out deep and low growls. The 10 people all released their palms at the same time, releasing waves of roaring blue wind dragons. The 10 wind dragons blended together and covered the entire street as they charged towards the rainbow Qilin. Although the 2 powers were extremely powerful, both sides were extremely skilled at controlling their strength and were unable to shatter the shops on both sides of the street. A bunch of idiots. The moment he threw out the rainbow Qilin beast, he had instantly flashed behind the 10 elders. Just as the blue wind dragon and the rainbow Qilin were about to collide, he sent out another wave of 5 elements heavenly fire. At the same time, the rainbow Qilin and the blue wind dragon collided, but no one expected that they would be stimulated to such an earth-shattering degree. The blue wind dragon was swallowed by the rainbow-colored Qilin, turning the rainbow-colored Qilin into a surging wave of 5 colored flames that rushed towards the 10 old men. The 10 elders of the Feng clan were attacked from 2 sides, drowned by 5 elements heavenly fire. Everyone was unsure whether they should live or die, but everyone could hear the waves of berserk roars coming out from inside. This guy actually knows blink steps. This is a mysterious footwork that consumes a huge amount of energy and traverses the void. Rumor has it that it can only be compared to the legendary shrinking step. The eyes of the demon empress, who was standing on top of a tall tower, shone, and she let out a faint smile. This dragon subduing school is impressive indeed. Kylan fan, instantaneous steps, these things can cause quite a sensation even in the heaven realm. Yao Shumai said in a low voice. Haha. Feng clan has kicked an iron board. No, Dan Alliance has kicked an iron plate. Duan Kong did not even try to conceal his laughter, so that the entire Pill City could hear him. Chapter 947. Li Baojun placed his hands behind his back and stood there leisurely, looking at the 5-colored heaven flames burning fiercely at the end of the street. He had also controlled the ball of heaven flames to turn into a tall tower, adding to the 10 elders of the Feng clan, and used the heaven flames to refine them. Pavilion Master, please show mercy. After all, it isn't easy for them to cultivate to this level. A middle-aged man in black robe flew over from the sky and landed beside Li Baojun. This man was Dan Alliance's Alliance Master, Yi Heng. When Li Baojun saw that Yi Heng had arrived, he immediately held onto the Kylan fan tightly and glanced at him. I don't care, whoever's at fault is the first. I won't be merciful, quote. Li Baojun took out a green 3-legged, giant cauldron, and shouted. The giant cauldron floating in the air suddenly flipped, and the huge mouth of the cauldron smashed towards the 5 elements heavenly fire that was on the ground. Yi Heng panicked, because the small cauldron suddenly shrunk and was taken away by Li Baojun. I will not kill them, their lives will be decided by my dragon subduing school's leader. Li Baojun glanced at Yi Heng coldly. You are the Alliance Master. You have witnessed this group of people oppressing my dragon subduing Dan Hall several times. Are you with them? As the chief, not only did he not lead his chief to stop this group of people who violate the rules of the Pill City, he even helped the evildoers. Quote. Seeing Li Baojun holding onto the Kylan fan, Yi Heng took a few steps back. With the fan and Li Baojun's 5 elements heavenly fire, the power was obvious. HMPH, didn't I just beat up one of your shopkeepers? You just killed a Dan King cultivator, what is your shopkeeper? If you take a bit of humiliation, you can take the life of a Dan King. Yi Heng's face darkened, his voice was laced with killing intent. They thought that the dragon subduing Dan Hall was done for today, but they did not expect Li Baojun to have a powerful being like the Kylan fan, and knew how to teleport. After killing the 10 experts of the Feng clan in a few breaths, not only did they not suppress the anger in the dragon subduing school, but the dragon subduing school had an opportunity to create momentum. They could not let the dragon subduing school's arrogance continue to grow. Li Baojun's body shook, and released a burst of oppressive fire. I gave that guy an almost, telling him to apologize to our manager. He didn't cherish it properly, who can you blame? To humiliate my dragon subduing school's disciple, is like humiliating my dragon subduing school. If my leader were to do it again, he would definitely annihilate his entire family and return it 100 times. This is considered light. I advise Feng clan to quickly hide. When my dragon subduing school comes back, our clan will be exterminated. Li Baojun's words were filled with killing intent. The news spread throughout Dan City, causing many people in Feng clan to panic. The 10 experts of their Feng clan were already sealed and burned in a cauldron. Li Baojun's strength had already deeply shocked them. You also have part in what happened today, but I'm not going to argue with you. Hurry up and leave, otherwise I will kill you too. If you dare to harass my dragon subduing school again, I will burn the entire Pill City. Li Baojun said coldly. Chen Shang secretly sighed in his heart. Didn't this guy say that he was only a pill refiner? He doesn't know how to fight, and even told me to not cause trouble. But now, he's the one who's fighting the most fiercely, and the one who's causing the most trouble is also him. But, that suits my taste. Dragon subduing school should have such an imposing aura. Otherwise, how could they have descended the dragon? Just wait a few more years for this dragon emperor to level with that Feng clan. If anyone dares to insult my dragon subduing school's disciples, annihilate their entire family. Long Shui clamored. He was just a Dan King who had just passed through the 9 Nirvana tribulations. Li Baojun's one slap from his fan was enough to kill him, so he didn't dare to stay any longer. A few days ago, Li Baojun had killed a few experts from the Feng clan, and today, Li Baojun had killed another Dan King. Just like that, Yi Heng, the alliance head of the Dan Alliance, left, causing many powers who hated the Dan Alliance to feel relieved. Duan Kong's bold laughter had even spread throughout the entire Pill City. If you really have the ability, then go attack the dragon subduing school's headquarters. What kind of hero was beating someone's shop? Furthermore, they have not even fought yet and their heads have already been chopped off. Duan Kong laughed. As long as he had the chance, he would never give up ridiculing these traitors. Duan Kong, where is your grandnephew? Your Duan clan has always only been a tomb robber, but you will never destroy the tombs of others. However, not only did your grandson Duan Sanchang dig out all of our ancestors' tombs, he even allowed the entire mausoleum to destroy them. This was the voice of the flying immortal school S, Wu Shu. Duan Sanchang, who was inside the Pill City, cursed in his heart. He did not even get a hair on his head, it was all because of his grandfather. This kid really broke our Duan clan's rules. He was missing in terms of theft, so we've decided to kick him out of the Duan clan. If you catch him in the future, we'll deal with him this way. Duan Kong let out a long sigh. Although Duan Sanchang had done a good job, he had to follow the teachings of his ancestors, and the Duan clan had dealt with many outstanding grave-robbing eccentrics in this manner over the years. However, he was not worried about Duan Sanchang. Duan Kong chuckled. Oh right, Wu Shu, have you found the one who was teasing your son? Although your son went to worship with the big black pig, it's fortunate that your son hasn't gotten married to that big black pig. Otherwise. Shut up. Wu Shu was furious, her voice was like thunder, shaking the entire Pill City. This kind of gossip was something many people loved to hear. There were even rumors that Wu Shu's son had already gone into bed with the big black pig. Yi Heng, who had just left not long ago, had returned with many Dan King following behind him. Li Baojun had just kept the Kylan fan and now he took it out immediately. Are you tired of living? Didn't you hear what I just said? Quote, "We are here to collect the land. You can recycle the land that we bought. You should know the price of the land that we bought. Don't mess with me, I don't have time to play with you." Li Baojun and Chen Shang had predicted that something like this would happen. "Here is the 1 trillion spar." Just as Yi Heng finished speaking, Li Baojun snorted in anger. "Just dragon subduing Dan Hall alone is not enough, and furthermore, we have bought a large piece of land, haven't you heard it clearly? 100 times the current value," Li Baojun said loudly. "It was only because the dragon subduing Dan Hall was here that it was expensive. What was the value of this place if the dragon subduing Dan Hall moved away? This piece of land is at least worth 100 billion. If our dragon subduing Dan Hall continues to stay here, if we buy land, we can definitely sell it for this price. If you take it back, it will be worth at least 1 trillion, or else don't even think about it." Li Baojun held onto the Kylan fan tightly, his face was filled with anger. Chapter 948. If dragon subduing Dan Hall continued to stay here, then there would be no hope of making any more money from Dan Alliance's large-scale medicine store. Therefore, they were all communicating with their consciousness right now, discussing whether or not to give Li Baojun 10 billion. 1 trillion was a large number, but if all the forces were to gather all of them, it wouldn't put a huge amount of pressure on them. After a short while, another group of people arrived. These people were the representatives of the powers in the Dan Alliance, and many of the pill shops here wished to expel the dragon subduing Dan Hall, so they were willing to offer a set of spar. After waiting for no longer, Li Baojun collected 100,000 spar. What surprised everyone was that he remained calm, as if being chased away was not a big deal. They were not afraid of dragon subduing school setting up a city on the side. It was because there was a rule that other people could not build a city near other people's city, otherwise, they would be jointly sanctioned by many great powers. The evil dragon graveyard was not far from here, where they could build a city. However, the Dan Alliance was not worried. They felt that the attraction of the dragon subduing school was only for a small portion of people, and they felt that the dragon subduing school could not support a large amount of cheap pills with his own strength. Of course the other forces would not open their shops in Dragon Subduing School, because Dan Alliance did not allow this to happen. Dan Alliance was only in a hurry to recover because he was worried that Dragon Subduing Dan Hall would change the central region of Pill City. It was because it was a very humiliating thing. They thought that Dragon Subduing Dan Hall's pills would only be able to sustain him for a short period of time, and during this period of time, it was possible that Dragon Subduing Dan Hall would become the most prosperous place in Pill City. Li Baojun packed up the things inside the dragon subduing Dan Hall and left, while Duan Sanchang, Yan Yanran and Lan Lan continued to hide within Pill City. Chen Shang had already made a plan long ago. He was currently returning to the evil dragon graveyard to see what those Earth's core race people had done to create the dragon subduing school. The evil dragon graveyard was enveloped by a giant black dragon, and because of that, the entire dragon vein was protected, making it difficult for other people to take a step into it. Even if one wanted to use their consciousness to explore, they would be counterattacked by this giant black dragon's mysterious and powerful strength. Chen Shang entered the black mist and arrived at the center of the evil dragon graveyard. What surprised him was that in just a few months, this central region had undergone a tremendous change. Here, a city was built. The walls of the entire city were actually 2 huge black dragons. The dragon's height was 200 meters, the black scales shone, and a strange power circulated around them. 2 domineering dragon heads opened their huge mouths, facing the front of the city gate. One could see that there was something inside the dragon's mouth, as if it could condense a strong power and then shoot it out. The city gate was shut tight, but when Chen Shang walked to the bottom of the city gate, the black door opened, and all the simple and elegant houses entered his eyes. Standing at the entrance to the city, he looked out into the distance along a straight stone path, and a majestic aura immediately assaulted his senses. In front of the palace was a towering, enormous palace, and in front of the palace were 2 huge stone pillars with a golden dragon coiled around it. At that time, Chen Shang did not say how the construction was planned, because he knew that the ancestors of the Earth's core race were actually the subordinates of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, responsible for mining spars and constructing houses. He did not expect them to be so powerful. He guessed that the entire Earth's core race had already been mobilized, and was rushing the work at night. Chen Shang did not find anyone from the Earth's core race here. He came to the grand and majestic building, and found a relatively large palace. There was a hole in the middle of the spacious hall, which could be used to open up the dragon vein below. In a large hall at the side, there was also a transmission array that could be used to teleport people to the bottom. When Chen Shang arrived at the bottom of the dragon vein, he saw that the people of Earth's core race were very relaxed in mining the spar. To them, this was as simple as playing with sand. Seeing Chen Shang coming over, Tai Li walked over with a smile. Leader, I remember that you mentioned that you want to establish a sect called Dragon Subduing School, so we did it like this. It's basically done, but it's a bit less lively here. You have to get some flowers, plants, and trees in. There are still many places to plant them. When that time comes, we don't need to use black fog to cover the entire place. Chen Shang praised, Elder Tai, your Earth's core race is so awesome that it gave me a big shock. Tai Li laughed, this is nothing, we have been staying downstairs for a long time, and it is rare for us to have something to do, so everyone is working hard. The Dragon Subduing School above can hold around 200,000-300,000 people, and the elite soldiers of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord back then were around this number. Quote. Chen Shang asked, did you all do this? How long has it been? And the materials used are all very good. Quote. The building materials were all taken from the Earth's core. The rocks underneath were very strong, and we've dug many tunnels over the years to store the rocks into bricks, so it's very convenient to use them when needed. Tai Li brought Chen Shang to his residence. Chen Shang realized that the Earth's core race was not only good at mining, they also had some attainments in construction, forging and setting up arrays. For example, they knew how to set up transmission array S, which was very ancient in nature. When the Earth's core race followed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord back then, it was extremely important. It could be said that the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord didn't have this group of people, and wouldn't have become an emperor. That was why the Earth's core race was cursed, just like the Duan clan. As loyal subordinates of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, they were still able to pass on their legacy. From this, it could be seen that their strength was extraordinary, and there were even quite a few people in the Earth's core race. Tai Li had long ago said that he would serve Chen Shang, and now he also called Chen Shang leader, Master Elder of Dragon Subduing School, and Earth's core race was considered the first batch of disciples since the creation of Chen Zhang's Dragon Subduing School. Elder Iron, is there any way to rid your Earth's core race of its curse? Chen Shang couldn't help but sigh for the Earth's core race whenever he thought of the curses they had suffered for all these years. Only by reaching the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord can we do that, but we firmly believe that you can do it. We tenaciously survived because we were waiting for that rule. Tai Li said. Chen Shang nodded his head, one day, I will bring you all back to see the light of day. Afterwards, Chen Shang and Tai Li discussed about creating a dragon subduing city near the evil dragon graveyard. Tai Li wasn't happy if he heard this, because they felt bored mining Spar S all day, and didn't even need to go to these Spar S for now, so they couldn't eat that much. Furthermore, some of the buildings that they had planned for so many years could appear in the sunlight. Chapter 949. After Chen Shang left the evil dragon graveyard, he went to find Li Baojun and the others, and brought them outside the evil dragon graveyard. Leader, are you sure that nothing will happen if we enter? Duan Sanchang asked because Chen Shang wanted to take them to see the dragon subduing school inside. Lan Lan saw the terrifying gigantic black dragon from afar and couldn't help but to shake Yan Yanren's hand. Yan Yanren did the same as well, feeling the terrifying evil chi that the black dragon released, and feeling a chill down their spines. Let alone them, even an expert like Li Baojun was scared witless by the black dragon's eyes, so when they heard that they needed to enter this terrifying place, they were a little nervous. It was not that they did not trust Chen Shang, but the evil dragon graveyard was too terrifying. Don't worry, although I am not able to completely control the power of this evil dragon graveyard, there is no problem at all when I bring you all in safely. Chen Shang laughed, and touched Lan Lan's delicate face, which was filled with fear. Just like that, the four of them followed behind Chen Shang, fearfully walking towards the evil dragon graveyard. They mustered up their courage and stepped into the black houses, but upon entering, they realized that the dense and black evil chi was like a door that opened, revealing a bright path. This made the four of them feel more at ease. When they walked out of the tunnel, they immediately saw the shocking city walls. Two gigantic black dragons were crawling on the ground surrounding a city. Two gigantic dragon heads that were over 200 feet tall were facing them. Their mouths were wide open, bearing their fangs that were like small hills, four huge eyes that were like blood suns, flickering with an evil red light. It made people's hearts tremble. The door opened automatically, and Li Baojun and the other three were so shocked that they couldn't speak. They walked forward stiffly, following closely behind Chen Shang, until they arrived in front of the door. The door automatically opened, and when Yan Yanren and Lan Lan saw the countless of buildings inside, They covered their mouths at the same time, and exclaimed in shock. Duan Sanchang shouted loudly, "This was originally there, or was it built by you recently?" Duan Sanchang felt that it was impossible to ask. How could they build such a city in such a short period of time? Although the city was big, there were many places that were not used for living, such as training, teaching, martial arts competition, etc. Hehe, this was just recently built. I was also shocked when I first saw it. This is directly above the dragon vein, and deep below us is a huge dragon made of spar. Because there are a few friends below us that do not want to accept too many strangers for the time being, we'll introduce you guys to them next time. Chen Shang said. Duan Sanchang's eyes suddenly became round, and he exclaimed, could it be that Iron Lion Army? The Iron Lion Army? Just thinking about it, Chen Shang could already guess that Duan Sanchang was talking about Earth's core race, and the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord was a lion. That kind of address he had given Earth's core race at that time wasn't anything unusual, it was indeed a very domineering name. I didn't expect them to have inherited it, and it's still under here. If it's them, then it's not surprising at all. Duan Sanchang clearly understood the situation in the Earth's core race very well. Chen Shang nodded his head, they have received a curse, they cannot be exposed to the sunlight. Duan Sanchang just let out a long sigh, and didn't say anything more. What is the Iron Lion Army? Lan Lan asked curiously. Back then, the army of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord and the various major cities were turned into an iron strike by the army of God, and they were the hidden main force of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord in their campaign against the 9 heavens and 10 earth. Duan Sanchang said with a face full of worship. He had heard of these legends since he was young. Bathing in the sunlight, the central dragon subduing school of the evil dragon graveyard appeared even more vigorous and magnificent. It was just that she lacked a bit of life force, there would definitely be something in the future. There's only as few elders in such a big place. We'll have to put in a lot of effort to make this place more lively. As an elder of the dragon subduing school, she had to work hard or else she would not be able to follow Chen Zhang's footsteps in the future. At this time, everyone had such a feeling, which made them make a painful decision. They had to work hard to improve themselves, otherwise, they would not be able to match this dragon subduing school elder's identity. I will have them build a city in the vicinity. That will be the dragon subduing city, and then we will use the dragon subduing city to recruit disciples. This will take a long time, and it's not urgent at all. This place will definitely become the most flourishing place in the 9 heavens and 10 hells. Chen Zhang's voice was filled with confidence. Walking out of the evil dragon graveyard, Li Baojun and the others saw Chen Shang controlling some of the black qi to leak out of the evil dragon graveyard, enveloping a large area. The black qi was leaked from the evil dragon graveyard, but it was still terrifying. We want to liven up the entire dragon subduing city before the 3 realms talk, and then participate in the 3 realms talk, and show off our strength. Yanran and Lan Lan, you two must make the best use of your time to raise your strength. If you have time, go and investigate the powers in the Dan Alliance, investigate the factions that are extremely dissatisfied with them, investigate the enemies of the ancient powers, and investigate the important figures of the Feng clan. Changzi, if it's possible, contact your great uncle to see if they have any thoughts of joining us. Quote. Elder Li, try your best to recruit as many as possible. It's fine even if the conditions are higher. I will let the people from Dan Fragrance Pure Land contact you and let them exchange their experiences in managing the medicine industry. Chen Shang looked into the distance and continued, I will make a trip back to the Chen Martial continent, we have simply too few people. After that, everyone went to do their own stuff, while Chen Shang went to the bottom of the dragon vein to tell them that he had already drawn up the area, giving them the detailed directions. He even made a path for them in the black mist inside the evil dragon graveyard, telling them to go to the place where he wanted to establish the dragon subduing city. There were many major events that happened in Pill City and most of them were related to Chen Shang. The matters concerning dragon subduing Dan Hall was also the same, but many people did not know about it. The Dan Alliance once again took control of Pill City's business, controlling the rise in the price of the pills to a steady pace. Furthermore, the price of the pills had generally risen, all for the sake of replenishing the 1 trillion spars. Although Pill City was full of complaints, there was no helping it, the pill shops in Pill City had all united together to raise the price. It was difficult for the small medicine shop to compete against those large forces for the same high price. However, for the sake of quickly getting back that 10 billion yuan, many small medicine stores had to raise the price, and many businesses had to be concentrated in the hands of these large forces. This was his chance. If the dragon-subduing city was successfully constructed, he had the confidence to attract many people to the city, and even to the small forces that had joined the Dan Alliance to withdraw from the alliance. He used the transmission array of Pill City to come to Super Martial School. Yun Xiaodao and the others were all good seedlings. After joining the dragon-subduing school, they had the cultivation method of the medicinal pellets that Li Baojun provided them. The most important thing was that Yun Xiaodao was worthy of his trust. Given his current situation, it would be difficult for him to find anyone that was worthy of his trust, so he had no choice but to take the risk of being scolded by Ji Yudongchen and dig his own grave. Chapter 950. Chen Shang realized that it would not be easy for him to infiltrate the Super Martial School. The protection of the Super Martial School was extremely tight. He had no choice but to change into the appearance of a Super Martial School disciple and use his previous jade tablet to enter. Now that he had been expelled by the Super Martial School, if he were to appear here, the ancient powers would definitely make things difficult for him. Right now, the Super Martial School was developing very quickly, and had already become a thorn in the eye of the ancient powers. Chen Shang made some inquiries in the Super Martial School, and after finding out that Yun Xiaodao and the others were not here, he was brought away by Ji Yudongchen. 10 days ago, Ji Yudongchen brought 50 disciples with him. It was unknown where he went. Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and the others were among them. Chen Shang released his divine power and probed the experts in the Super Martial School. He needed to find either Wu Kaming or Huang Jintian as soon as possible. Most of the Super Martial School's rankers were inside the Super Martial Profound Realm, so it was not easy for Chen Shang to enter, but he had to go inside, for Wu Kaming and Huang Jintian were not outside. He came to a place where there was no one around, took out his Luotian gate and opened a door. He entered the Super Martial Profound Realm through a spatial door and arrived at Wu Kaming's residence. Chen Shang had just appeared in the small courtyard of Wu Kaming's house, releasing a terrifying aura. The person who came was really his master, Huang Jintian. Huang Jintian wore a white robe and had a beard. His pale white hair was combed extremely neatly, and he seemed to be brimming with vitality, giving off the vibe of an expert. Master, Chen Shang growled, and immediately transformed into his own appearance. Ouch! Chen Shang was even hit on the head heavily by Huang Jintian, but Huang Jintian was still smiling as he patted his head. You little brat, you actually know how to come back and see me. Chen Shang did not come back to look at this madman. Every time he saw Huang Jintian, he would most likely be beaten up. I have a lot of conscience to begin with. If I wasn't in such a terrible situation, I would come back to see you. Chen Shang laughed. Huang Jintian brought Chen Shang into the house and looked at him indifferently. Kid, what are you thinking about in your heart? I don't know. Don't even think about lying to me. Why are you looking for me? Chen Shang curled his lips. I am indeed not here to look for you. You are an old man that doesn't die. What is there to worry about? I am here to look for Yun Xiaodao and the others. Quote. I knew it, you are too unfilial. Huang Jintian purposely got angry and arrived in front of Chen Shang in a flash, smashing his fist ruthlessly onto Chen Zhang's head, causing Chen Shang to scream like a pig being butchered. Chen Shang had an unhappy look on his face. Master, you old man kicked me out of Super Martial School and didn't even greet me. I didn't say anything. HMPH, after you were expelled by me, didn't you have quite a good time? His reputation is even greater than mine. Huang Jintian smiled lightly. However, having a disciple like you is quite satisfying. You haven't done anything bad in the past few days, so I thought you were dead. Quote. The limelight has been stolen by that dragon-subduing school in Li Baojun, how boring. He still did not plan to tell Huang Jintian about the dragon-subduing school, as he wanted to find a suitable opportunity. Now that he said that he was the leader of the dragon-subduing school, it was not enough to scare Huang Jintian to death. A lad and the little Baldy led a team to the east, which is the place where Three Realms talk is gathered. There is a place called Heaven Thunder Purgatory there, and nearby, there is a Heaven Thunder City. Huang Jintian said. Why are they bringing so many disciples there? Chen Shang asked in surprise. Three Realms talk, but before that, they have to send all of those disciples into the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Huang Jintian looked at Chen Shang in shock. Don't you know about the Heaven Thunder Purgatory? Of course Chen Shang knew that Heaven Thunder Purgatory was still the place his grandfather had pointed to. The Three Realms talk is being held in the Heaven Thunder City. That city was just established. Huang Jintian took a sip of tea and said Heaven Thunder Purgatory was originally a very dangerous place to die, but in this period of time, there was a sudden change. In the center of the heavenly thunder whirlpool, there was a large amount of spatial energy fluctuations. However, when we enter, we will need the protection of some experts to avoid being struck by lightning. Quote, the Heaven Thunder Purgatory is a lot quieter now. I'm not sure what kind of things are inside, but I do know that it is related to the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. It should have been created by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Chen Shang frowned. The Heaven Thunder Purgatory was a huge vortex of lightning that floated high up in the sky, covering a large area of the sky. If it was really a place that was built by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, then maybe the Celestial Slain method was hidden inside. He did not expect to find Celestial Slain method in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, because he had yet to grasp the God Slain method and it was only around the corner. In order to obtain the Celestial Slain method, one might need to master God's kill and Earth's kill. They brought their disciples in to gain experience. It is said that there is another competition. The demon and devil realms went as well as a large group of rogue cultivators. It would be a pity if you did not attend such a lively event. Chen Shang laughed. Now that I know, of course I'll go. Then why don't you hurry up, but you have to be careful, there are many people gathering there to join the Three Realms talk. Huang Jintian warned. Master, will Super Martial School participate in that competition? Chen Shang asked. Of course, I'll have to attend it myself when the time comes. There are many sects in Chen Martial Continent that can go there, such as Dan Fragrance Pure Land, Lotus Island and the Divine Weapon Sect. So that's how it is. No wonder I couldn't find them. Chen Shang had contacted some of the higher-ups in the Dan Fragrance Pure Land, but Hua Shangyu was not in the Dan Fragrance Pure Land. They, little brat, you got those two female leaders? Huang Jintian laughed and asked. Nope. Chen Shang waved and turned towards the door. Huang Jintian saw that he had left just like that, so he immediately rushed forward and kicked his butt fiercely. If you don't say goodbye to me, then where did your manners go? Chen Shang was kicked flying, smashing a door and a wall, his entire person was covered in dust and dirt. He cursed a few times in his heart, then respectfully said, Master, disciple will take his leave. Seeing Chen Shang leave through the dimensional door, Huang Jintian muttered, this guy has a lot of good stuff. No wonder he lives even more carefree than me. Chen Shang hurried back to Pill City to find Li Baojun and the others. He wanted to take Lan Lan and Yan Yanran to visit the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Of course, for safety's sake, he felt that he should invite God White Tiger out in advance. Chapter 951. In an old house in Dan City, Duan Sanchang and Li Baojun were boasting when Chen Shang suddenly walked in. Brother leader, you're back so quickly. Didn't you say to go and get some people? So you're alone? Duan Sanchang asked. Changzi, have you gone to find your great uncle yet? Chen Shang did not immediately answer, and anxiously asked. No, they are no longer in Pill City. Furthermore, they are no longer at our secret hiding spot. I will have to wait for a while. Duan Sanchang had already told Chen Shang before that the members of the Duan clan would always travel swiftly, but they would set a time to gather. Lan Lan and Yan Yanran also received Chen Zhang's message and rushed back. They were in Pill City gathering information. These two beauties had both disguised themselves so that they appeared to be very ordinary. Otherwise, based on their figure and faces, they would definitely be able to attract the gazes of many people. I just returned to Super Martial School. My master told me that a lot of people had started to go participate in Three Realms talk, and they even held a competition. My junior nephew Jiyu Dongchen brought 50 disciples to Heaven Thunder Purgatory, and there was a change in Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Chen Shang quickly explained the Heaven Thunder Purgatory's situation to her. Could it be that he brought disciple inside to gain experience? Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought 50 elites in one go. Yan Yanran frowned. Furthermore, they have hidden this information well, and we don't even know about it. My master said that there was a large group of rogue cultivators that went there, so how could the news not spread out? Could it be that the Heaven Thunder City is being controlled? Chen Shang guessed. Duan Sanchang paced back and forth in the hall. My grandfather might be inside. My grandfather is the #1 enemy of many ancient powers, and my grandfather might have also went there. This is a treasure land left behind by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, maybe something good is hidden inside. Lan Lan looked at Li Baojun and charmingly said, Elder Li, bring us juniors to broaden our horizons. The leaderess and a few clan elders of the dragon-subduing school were all targeted by the ancient powers. Yan Yanran was the mysterious 9 lives demon cat. Lan Lan toyed with the son of the leader. Duan Sanchang lost the ancestors' tomb of the flying immortal school. Li Baojun killed the Dan King, and sealed the 10 strong warriors. Chen Shang didn't have to say anything. In the eyes of the ancient powers, they were a group of felons. Li Baojun looked at Chen Shang. He had to see what Chen Shang meant. There were many strong warriors in the other powers, but they only had Li Baojun, the only one who could support them for the time being. Leader and the few elders were all growing, but compared to their peers, they were considered to be out of the group. Go, but you don't need the elder Li. You have to stay here and wait for the dragon-subduing city to finish building. Chen Shang took out a jade tablet, dripped some blood on it, then quickly drew a few spirit grains. He passed them to Li Baojun. As long as you take this jade tablet, you can freely enter Evil Dragon Graveyard. Li Baojun said in surprise, how can I bring you guys without me? Chen Shang laughed, I will ask the other guy to bring us there. In the future, Elder Li, just focus on refining pills and just manage the pill business. This guy really has some background. Quote. Just like this, Chen Shang brought Duan Sanchang, Yan Yanran and Lan Lan to the White Tiger Profound Realm. The moment they entered, Yan Yanran felt a mysterious and familiar aura, but at the same time, she felt fear. Lan Lan was skipping about in the beautiful forest that was full of life, while asking Chen Shang what kind of profound realm he was in. The White Tiger Profound Realm was very beautiful, with birdsong and fragrant flowers. It was a large tree that released a sweet fragrance, but right now, only Chen Shang did not feel any pressure. Duan Sanchang, Yan Yanran and Lan Lan started to feel more and more that powerful invisible pressure. Yan Yanran in particular, her charming jade face turned slightly pale. Chen Shang originally thought that he would have to go to the White Tiger Fighting Race's residence to go find the White Tiger. However, what surprised him was that the White Tiger suddenly appeared in front of them with a warm smile. Seeing this average-looking middle-aged man, Yan Yanran was immediately drenched in sweat, and almost lost his balance. Lan Lan and Duan Sanchang's faces were also filled with fear, but they were not like Yan Yanran. Senior, Chen Shang knew that the White Tiger was probing Yan Yanran and the others. The White Tiger smiled faintly and retracted the formless energy. It looked at Yan Yanran and said intimately, you are the 9 lives demon cat, do you remember anything? There's something about your parents, and living is something that concerns your race. Quote. Chen Shang suddenly thought that the tiger and cat had a relationship, but the White Tiger was actually very rare and precious. Maybe Yan Yanran could be like Bai Junjun and have the White Tiger instruct him in cultivation. Yan Yanran shook her head, I was adopted by an old granny. After she raised me up, she sent me to a sect. Not knowing why, Yan Yanran trusted the middle-aged man in front of her extremely. She didn't know the identity of the middle-aged man, but she felt a sense of familiarity. Of course, she was also shocked by the White Tiger's power. It was much stronger than the Li Baojun she had met. With Duan Sanchang and Lan Lan at the side, even the White Tiger was careful. The 9 lives cat race had some connections with us. It could be said that they were all one family back then, but after we lost them all in the great battle, I thought that the 9 lives cat race would have lost its bloodline. I didn't expect to meet them here. The White Tiger looked at Chen Shang and asked, can you let her stay by my side for a while? She should have inherited the memories of the 9 lives cat race, but she hasn't fully awakened yet. Quote. Long Shui did not know about the 9 lives demon cat, either. The Imperial Dragon race could be said to have a very good understanding of the White Tiger, but she did not know that the White Tiger fighting race actually had such a mysterious alliance. Chen Shang looked at Yan Yanran and said, that depends on her intentions. Yan Yanran nodded, she also wanted to find out the identity of her 9 lives demon cat. She felt that there was a very strong power hidden within her body, she felt that the person in front of her could help her activate it. These are your friends. The White Tiger then looked at Lan Lan and Duan Sanchang. His eyes looked very friendly, but it was as if he could see through every single person's hidden secrets. Yes, and he's an elder of my dragon-subduing school. Chen Shang laughed. Dragon-subduing school? He was the dragon-subduing school that was now the talk of the town. I never thought that the dragon vein would end up in your hands, how did you obtain it? He felt that it would be difficult for Chen Shang to obtain that dragon vein by himself. Back then, his eldest disciple, 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord, was only able to obtain it because he had a large amount of help from his own body. Because I have an imperial crystal. The white tiger suddenly realized something and nodded its head. It did not question anymore and looked towards Lan Lan. She hid behind Yan Yanran, making him laugh out loud. Don't worry, it's not like I'll eat you. You are a part of the Human King clan's Blue Blood division, and the Human King was once a good friend of Qi Shi. Duan Sanchang felt that the person in front of him was extremely terrifying. He did not expect that during the primordial era, there would still be someone who had survived until now, and that there were actually so many things about it. Chapter 952 Lan Lan asked softly, Uncle, are you going to join the leader as well? Lan Lan asked softly, Uncle, are you going to join the leader as well? Dragon Subduing School. This name would offend a strong person, and you guys are actually not afraid. Of course he wouldn't join the Dragon Subduing School, but he had promised Chen Shang that he would help him participate in the Three Realms talk. Long Shui lightly snorted from inside the ring, what's there to be afraid of? This is something that this Heavenly Dragon Supreme Lord agrees to, specially used to suppress that group of old dragons. Little guy, your resentment is not small. You finally know why you appeared in DTN. He was actually able to hear what was going on inside the ring. Long Shui did not make a sound, he only snorted a little angrily. Lan Lan was no longer so afraid, because the white tiger was no longer looking at her. It was looking at Duan Sanchang instead. Duan Sanchang muttered in his heart, I am a normal person. I don't have a blue bloodline, nor am I a demon. Is it because I'm too handsome? The white tiger only smiled and did not say anything. Looking at his expression, it seemed like he seemed to have seen something from Duan Sanchang's body. The white tiger secretly sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, not wanting to expose his identity as the white tiger. It then said to Yan Yanran, you can stay here right now. Yan Yanran nodded, then looked at Lan Lan, Senior, can she be with me? Of course you can, the white tiger replied with a smile. Although these two women were staying here for the time being, it was still a great thing. Following that, Chen Shang briefly explained to the white tiger about the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. The white tiger slightly frowned and said, this place was opened a little too early, could it be that we discovered some unforeseen event? But you can't go. The Nine Lives Cat race, the Mortal King clan and the Duan clan have all helped Qi Shi before, so it would be best if you don't go. Quote. The white tiger looked at Duan Sanchang, Lan Lan and Yan Yanran. Why? Duan Sanchang was shocked. My grandfather might be inside there, my great-uncle and the others might have also entered. The white tiger had obviously already known that Duan Sanchang was a member of the Duan clan. The Heaven Thunder Purgatory was not established by Qi Shi, it was the battlefield. The white tiger said. Could it be the place where the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord died? Duan Sanchang lost his voice and shouted, that is an extremely vicious place. My Duan clan and the Iron Lion army were cursed inside. The white tiger nodded, then shook its head, that place is the paradise of traitors, it was a trap set up for Qi Shi all those years ago. Qi Shi didn't die inside, he was only severely injured while he was inside, like the subordinates he brought, they most likely died inside, and only a few could escape. Your Duan clan's patriarch surely knows that if they still dared to take the risk and enter, they might have already realized something and searched for some things that they had to find. Yan Yanran and Lan Lan only felt extremely regretful. After that, they followed the white tiger and entered the depths of the forest, while Chen Shang left the white tiger profound realm with Duan Sanchang. Leader, if you see our Duan clan members, please save them. Duan Sanchang was extremely worried. He knew his own strength well, and if he went in with Chen Shang, it might only cause Chen Shang more trouble. Originally, Chen Shang planned to let the white tiger go with him, but that was also to ensure the safety of Duan Sanchang and the others. Now, only he could go by himself, so he didn't need the white tiger to come out. Duan Sanchang went to look for Li Baojun, while Chen Shang headed to Heaven Thunder City. Chen Shang passed through the large ancient legends of the City of the King, and arrived at the distant east side, the Heaven Thunder City. The Heaven Thunder City was a city that was just established, it was jointly built by many great powers in the east. The big shots in the east wanted to use the Heaven Thunder Purgatory to turn the Heaven Thunder City into a bustling city. This city was the same as other large cities. Although it had just been built, there were many people here and many new buildings looked very comfortable. Chen Shang appeared in the transmitting square, but he immediately realized that the legendary formation could only be teleported to here, it couldn't be teleported to anywhere else. The entire city has been sealed off. You can't leave, Long Shui said. Chen Shang raised his head and looked into the distance. It was as if a gigantic golden hat was floating above the blue sky, and this was the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, the gigantic whirlpool. It really is huge. Even from so far away, I can still see the shape, and I can still vaguely see the lightning above. When Chen Shang walked out of the transmitting square, he quickly found out about some of the things that had happened. In order to prevent the matter of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory from being leaked out, many great powers decided to seal the city, and only those great powers that participated in the three realms talk could enter and leave at will. If they wanted to enter the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, they could pay a certain amount of spar and have a few experts escort them in. As a result, it was very difficult for this information to be leaked out. The reason the big powers did this was to ensure that they would be the first to obtain the good stuff in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Chen Shang was a little regretful that he did not leak out this matter and destroyed the plans of the big powers. Right now, he did not have the chance. The Heaven Thunder City's array was extremely powerful. If he wanted to leave, he could only do it through tough means, but he would definitely be stopped, and would not have much time to break it. As long as each person had 10 billion spar, there would be an expert escorting them to the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. The reason for this was partly to appease some of the rogue cultivators in the city, and partly to earn more spar, because the team that would be responsible for escorting them would come from many different forces, so it had a lot of competitive power. Furthermore, there were a lot of people in the Heaven Thunder City, which would allow them to make a lot of money. These rogue cultivators were basically not much of a threat. Even if they went to the Heaven Thunder Purgatory to obtain good stuff, they could not take away much. Right now, Chen Shang only wanted to enter the Heaven Thunder Purgatory smoothly. He felt that he would definitely run into many old friends inside, but he planned to investigate for a bit to see if there was anything good inside, and then see if he could meet with his old friend or not. He found an escort team, paid 1 million spar, and then waited with more than 100 people to set off. More than an hour later, the escort team set off. They were escorted by 5 immortals who had experienced the 9 tribulations, so many people were extremely at ease. They had heard that when entering the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, it was very easy to be struck by lightning, but with the protection of these experts, they were able to help resist the lightning. Of course, the most important reason was that they could not leave the city without permission. Otherwise, many people would not have to pay 1 million spar. Chapter 953. After walking out of the Heaven Thunder City, Chen Shang and the others were closely watched. Anyone who was slightly slower or was looking around would be scolded by the elders who escorted them. Along the way, everyone was running at a very uniform speed, slowly approaching the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. During their journey, the escorts would not allow these experts to talk to each other. As long as they saw someone making a sound in the group and communicating with them through eyes, they would all be glared at by these powerhouses. Therefore, no one dared to speak on the way back. This was the first time these 100-odd people had gone to the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. If they had known earlier that their treatment was so poor, that they had paid 1 million spar, and even received such treatment, they would definitely not have come. None of the people who went to Heaven Thunder Purgatory before had returned, so they naturally did not know that such a thing would happen during the escort mission. The sealing of cities by major powers had caused many people to be dissatisfied. They originally thought that this would be a way to leave the city, but they never expected that it would actually turn into something akin to a slave. Little naughty dragon, use the heaven tour method. See if you can find another city and spread this news. Chen Shang saw that these big powers were pushing things too far, and used this method to guarantee that he could take over the Heaven Thunder Purgatory by himself. Now that he had taken over someone else's spar, he still had to treat them like this. The strength of the people in the group was not very strong, and there were only a few in the Nirvana stage, so their speed was very slow. After a few days, everyone finally reached the bottom of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. In the sky was a huge vortex formed by the golden mist, and in the middle of the vortex was a 200 to 300 feet wide black hole, which was the place to enter Heaven Thunder Purgatory. The whirlpool was extremely huge, covering a wide expanse of land. However, the center of the whirlpool was extremely small, which was quite surprising. Standing under the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, the sound of thunder continuously sounded out. Within the faint golden mist, flashes of lightning could be seen. Chen Shang observed carefully, and discovered that there was a strange energy in the center that was absorbing the dense spirit chi around. When a large amount of spirit chi gathered over, it was even purified and refined, thus turning it into a faint gold. A large amount of spiritual energy gathered in the air and revolved around the center. The dense spiritual energy collided with each other and rubbed against each other, which was why it produced endless lightning and sometimes even struck the ground. This spiritual energy has been absorbed into the hole at the center. The inside of the hole should be a world, and it can be maintained by absorbing energy from the outside. Long Shui guessed that she had already found 2 cities and used the divine power she had released to transform into a human to spread the news about Heaven Thunder Purgatory. It took them 3 days to reach the center of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. The 10 escorting rankers each took out a round flying disc that could fit about 10 people. After everyone stood on their respective platforms, the disc slowly floated up and flew towards the bottomless black hole. After about an hour, they passed through the black hole and entered the Heaven Thunder Purgatory without a hitch, appearing on an empty land. There were more than 10 elders standing guard on this empty field, preventing anyone from escaping through this entrance. After arriving here, everyone was even more furious because they did not encounter any dangers along the way. They let these large forces earn 1,000,000 spar for nothing. Forget about the city walls, they still had to pay 1,000,000 spar to exit the city, and they were even scolded along the way. Everyone wished that they could kill all the experts that came along with them, but their strength was insufficient. Chen Shang looked at the black hole behind him. When they came in just now, they passed through it in an instant, and he didn't feel the black hole absorbing a large amount of energy at all. He guessed that the energy must have seeped in from somewhere else. Everyone looked around. Even though this was an empty area, they could only see mountains and rivers in the distance. Eagles were flying high in the blue sky, and the sound of raging river waves and the rumbling of waterfalls could be heard in the distance. This was such a beautiful world. There was a world of difference between this and the rumors. What do you want? Don't just walk around, follow us. An old man saw that the crowd had dispersed and immediately let out a roar, releasing a terrifying pressure. Can't we walk freely now? A middle-aged man said angrily. He had paid 1,000,000 spar to come here and not be someone's slave. Humph, you are just courting death by walking around randomly. Come with us quickly, we will arrange some work for you. An old man laughed coldly. Everyone was immediately angered. They had indeed been tricked into being slaves. Now, they understood why many of the rogue cultivators that came here had not returned. It was because they had been restricted. If you want to die, then go ahead and try. An old man's face was filled with killing intent. Purple Moon Imperial Land is a well-known power in the East, you guys are bullying us too much. Someone shouted. So what? You guys have the strength, but you can bully us like this. Even if we kill all of you here, it would only be the same as killing 100 ants. Everyone was about to explode from anger. Many big guys wanted to take action, but resisting was just suicide. Right now, they could only give in and find an opportunity to escape. The Shang domain in the east was similar to the Tongtian aristocratic family in annihilating evil, specifically bullying the weak. Chen Shang wished that these powers could be annihilated one by one. Purple Moon Imperial Land, you tricked me, Chen Shang, today, it's equivalent to becoming enemies with me. Killing intent surged in Chen Zhang's heart. Seeing the anger on everyone's faces, he had already made up his mind. This Purple Moon realm was the first ancient power that he was going to attack from the east. Everyone was filled with anger as they followed the few elders and entered a large mountain. There were many caves, and a few raggedy people brought out storage bags, handing them over to a man. Seeing this scene, everyone immediately understood that they were here to excavate. The Heaven Thunder Purgatory was rich in mines, but if they were to mine it, the big powers would not be willing to use their own disciples, so they used such despicable methods, not only tricked the millions of spar, but also made them come here to work. The man in charge of collecting storage bag was lying on a very luxurious chair. After he took the storage bag from the hands of the laborers, he would give them an empty space and let them continue mining. This man was dressed in purple, and on top of his purple robe was a silver-purple full moon. One could tell with a glance that he was an important figure of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and he might even be the heavenly son of the Purple Moon Imperial Land. Come here and hand over your storage magic treasure. Then, you can harvest the storage bag to mine. The purple-robed man shouted to Chen Shang and the rest. He still had to hand over the storage magic treasure. How could the crowd allow this? Just as they were about to resist, more than 10 burly men suddenly rushed over and surrounded the 100 of them. Chapter 954. Just like the others, Chen Shang clenched his fists and wanted to attack. Just like the others, Chen Shang clenched his fists and wanted to attack. The purple-robed man stood up and slowly walked over. He had a handsome face, and his eyes under his sword-like eyebrows were filled with disdain. His expression was extremely arrogant, making people want to ruthlessly trample on his face. So, if we don't cooperate, you guys will die. Let me tell you, below your feet, there is a lot of flesh and blood of idiots. The purple-robed man looked at the crowd as though he was looking at an ant. Elders, you've all worked hard. Go and rest first. Leave this place to me. Thank you for your concern, Son of Heaven, then we will take our leave first. An old man said respectfully, and the few elders left. Her strength should be around the same as the other heavenly sons of the Sheng domain and Tongtian aristocratic family, but in Chen Zhang's eyes, she was nothing more than a fart. The fact that these girls had such strong powers at such a young age meant that they had great potential and a bright future ahead of them. Therefore, the elders respected them a lot, and if they were to become the ones in power in the future, they would gain a lot of benefits. That's right, I am the Purple Moon Imperial Land's Zutnz, Zhuangzhu Rong. Purple Moon Imperial Land's leader is my grandfather, you should feel honored to be my slaves. If you all are to attempt to resist, I will make you all wish you were dead. Zhuangzhu Rong said very arrogantly, you're just a bunch of ants, you have no chance to resist. Chen Shang could feel that the few clan elders had walked far away. They started to investigate the hidden warriors around, surrounding the 10 sturdy men, but they had just passed Nirvana stage. With one palm strike, he could kill one of them. Hurry up and hand over your storage magic treasure. If you cooperate, you can avoid suffering. Dregs, what are you looking at? Do you really want to go back on your word? Just with your strength alone, I can squash you with one finger. Zhuangzhu Rong's voice was cold and his eyes were filled with viciousness as a purple long whip suddenly appeared in his hand. Chen Shang suddenly walked out with a beautiful storage ring in his hand. With one look, he knew that it was not a simple item. Upon seeing it, Zhuangzhu Rong's expression became gentler, and he laughed lightly. A wise man knows when to stop. It's all futile for you guys to resist me. When Zhuangzhu Rong saw the beautiful storage ring, his eyes flashed with greed, but when Chen Shang arrived in front of him, he did not immediately hand it over. Instead, he tightly clenched his fists. You want to rebel against me? Zhuangzhu Rong sneered and swung his purple whip, shooting out a beam of light towards a huge boulder in the distance. The boulder turned into powder. Chen Shang said slowly and calmly, I have never thought of rebelling against you. From the moment I saw you, you were already a dead man in my eyes. Finished speaking, Chen Zhang's body suddenly shook, a holy gold light suddenly appeared on his body, shining resplendently with multicolored light that shot in all directions, like the bottom of a god. His figure suddenly made everyone feel extremely tall and big, and the aura he exuded made people feel as if he was an emperor that looked down on the heavens, causing people to be unable to help themselves from wanting to follow him. This is, devil-suppressing holy power, who are you? Even though Zhuangzhu Rong was shocked, he wasn't slow at all as he whipped his long whip towards Chen Zhang's face. You are the devil that I behead and exterminate demons, I will kill you. Chen Shang let out a loud roar that shook the entire endless mountains and rivers. For some reason, everyone felt that every single mountain here seemed to be trembling, as if they were providing power to Chen Shang. Chen Zhang's voice had actually broke the purple moon heaven child's whip into several pieces. Chen Zhang's body was shining with a golden light and no one could feel any energy fluctuations from it, but they were all subdued by the Venerable Emperor's aura, causing the hundreds of mountains and rivers around him to tremble. This was the ground killing, using the power of mountains and rivers on earth to slay immortals and gods, slaying demons and devils. Chen Shang reached out and grabbed Zhuangzhu Rong's neck, and squeezed hard. With a crack, Zhuangzhu Rong's head suddenly tilted to the side. I am the son of Ziyu, if you kill me, the Purple Moon Imperial Land will chase you to the ends of the earth. Quote. Purple Moon Imperial Land, this is just the beginning. You don't need them to chase me down, I will annihilate them myself. Rest assured, go and die, I will send more disciples of the Purple Moon Imperial Land to find you in the future. Chen Shang struck his palm towards Zhuangzhu Rong's head, causing the ground to vibrate and crack. Zhuangzhu Rong's entire body was also shaken up a few times, and he was sent flying into the air. It was only then that the 10 men reacted, but Chen Shang was already stepping on the shrinking step, and in a few blinks of an eye, he had already passed by the 10 men, and these 10 men were all smashed into ashes by Chen Zhang's palm strike, accompanied with a strong flame. A lot of people ran out from the cave. Seeing that the arrogant Zhuangzhu Rong had been dismembered, Chen Shang was ecstatic, and released the many storage magic treasures in his storage ring. All of you come here to claim your things, and then take away your millions of spar, no one is allowed to take more. Seeing Chen Zhang's strength, the rest did not dare have any other thoughts as they all walked up. Even the people who came with him could take away their million spar. Senior, thank you for saving us. Otherwise, we would still be trapped for who knows how long. A young man said gratefully. Senior, you should hurry up and leave. The people from Purple Moon Imperial Land are coming over soon. An old man said. Chen Zhang's expression slightly changed. You guys should hurry up and leave. Don't even think about leaving this place for the time being. Go and find the forces above Super Martial School or even those above Chen Martial Continent first. With that, a few old men suddenly appeared and surrounded the group. These were all immortals that had passed through the Nirvana stage. Looking at the scattered corpses on the ground, the few elders were stunned. Chen Shang didn't wait for them to explain before taking out his green dragon demon-slain broadsword and fiercely hacking down with it. 5 green blade shadows flashed as they attacked the 5 elders from the Purple Moon Imperial Land like 5 great cyan dragons. It's the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, this person is Chen Shang, catch him. One of the clan elders bellowed in anger, while Chen Shang stepped on his shrinking step, escaping in one direction. When Chen Shang appeared, these 5 elders did not care about the people they tricked into becoming slaves anymore and quickly chased after him. In their eyes, the value of Chen Shang in their eyes far surpassed the value of the small and medium-sized mines, especially the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. They had heard of Chen Zhang's incident before, but most of it was a fabricated story designed to discredit Chen Shang. Now, everyone understood why Chen Shang was enemies with the Tong Tian aristocratic family and Sheng domain, because these ancient powers were all bad stuff. They had already decided that after they left, they would spread this matter to the entire human realm, and let everyone unite to fight against such a powerful force. Chapter 955. Chen Shang had long been called the Son of Heaven, Killer, and had made the people who killed the Son of Heaven and Sky Woman panic. There were a lot of people that were tricked by the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and Chen Shang only rescued a small portion of them, but there were more than 3,000 of them. They did not leave their homes, but stayed together, as this would allow them to be much safer. The disciples they brought were very few, and there were a lot of mines here, so if they wanted to get out quickly, they could only do this. In their eyes, those rogue cultivators were like pigs, they did not even see those rogue cultivators as human beings. Chen Shang calmly stepped on the shrinking step, allowing the 5 elders of Purple Moon Imperial Land behind him to catch up to him. This way, he could ensure that the 3,000 people would be able to walk a little further. Kill the Son of Heaven in my Purple Moon Imperial Land, I, Purple Moon Imperial Land, will never let you off. An elder shouted. Chen Zhang's strength was indeed astonishing, to think that he could break the Son of Heaven in an instant, but that was also because the Son of Ziyu was too arrogant. He was intimidated by Chen Zhang's sudden explosive force until he had no power to resist. Chen Shang laughed coldly, you should know the thing that your Purple Moon Imperial Land has done the best. Your ZUTNZ wants to snatch my storage magic treasure, there are over 3,000 witnesses for this matter. We have paid 1,000,000 spar to come here, but you have bullied us and forced us to be laborers. Even if we exterminate your Purple Moon Imperial Land, many people would definitely applaud and cheer for me. Quote, evil sects like you are like a Son of Heaven, who knows how many people are thanking me. Bull**T. They realized that Chen Zhang's footwork was very strange. Chen Shang had not reached the pinnacle of shrinking step yet, so they could not tell that he was using it. They just felt that Chen Shang was escaping very easily. The few elders of the Purple Moon Imperial Land could no longer hold it in, and began attacking from a distance behind Chen Shang, blasting out balls after balls of condensed berserk innate chi, striking towards Chen Shang. The moment Chen Shang released his god power, he could instantly determine the direction of the energy waves. He avoided them one by one, making them look extremely dangerous. You really are that ZUTNZ's loyal old dogs. That brat is already dead, you should immediately go back to collect his corpse, and not chase after me. Oh, that's right, to them, that brat is just someone who they can flatter in the future. Now that he's dead, you all naturally don't have anything to linger for, but it's my green dragon demon-slain broadsword that is more attractive to you all. Hee, it seems like you are not even comparable to dogs. A truly good dog will perform better after its master dies. Quote. Chen Zhang's words angered these few old fellows, causing them to release an even more terrifying attack. With every palm strike, they were able to destroy a mountain peak, and as they chased after him, the ground was a complete mess. Numerous shocking ravines filled a large area, and the forest here was completely destroyed by the 5 elders. Suddenly, the 5 clan elders released a strong technique. Condensing a huge purple fist, he punched towards Chen Shang, producing a gigantic ditch on the ground that was like a big river. The explosive purple light covered the entire sky. The rumbling sounds did not stop and echoed in the air. The rumbling sound was like thunder that swept out in all directions. Almost everyone in Heaven Thunder Purgatory could sense this terrifying sound. If Chen Shang did not understand the shrinking step, he might have been captured alive by them. However, when that move was launched just now, although he dodged it, a lot of his meridians were broken by that powerful force. Fortunately, he had already become a log, and followed that wave of chi into the depths of the forest. Is he dead? An old man floated high in the sky, staring at the messy ground. I don't know. He shouldn't have died so quickly. This guy is very evil. Didn't you see that he was always fearless? But my guess is that he must have been severely injured. Quote. Chen Shang was in a forest with collapsed trees. He had already turned back into a human and hid under a patch of trees that had collapsed. Let's take a look over there. An old man pointed at the forest that was shattered by the shock wave, then flew over. You must be from the Purple Moon Imperial Land. Look at what you all have done. A clear voice came out, carrying a trace of anger, but within the anger was also gentleness. The moment Chen Shang heard the voice, he knew that it was the demon who came later. He did not expect the demon empress of the Demon Charming Association to still be here and not return to the heaven realm. If the space was firm, it would be difficult for her to return. After the demon empress voice sounded, the few elders that had appeared in Purple Moon Imperial Land became even stronger. She still had a few beautiful spirit demon beings with her, and from the auras of those spirit demon beings, one could tell that they were not weak. HMPH, if we were to attract the devils of purgatory, we would all be in trouble, you idiots. The one who spoke was the Black Fiend Mountain's Bear King. Purple Moon Imperial Land, we have no objections to all of you tormenting us in your area, but if you want to destroy us, then we, the Qin family, will not hold back. They were all people that belonged to the Sheng domain and the Tong Tian aristocratic family S. However, he did not see the power of the Chen martial continent S. He heard that the principal of the Devil Subduing College S had also come, but he did not see anyone. Chen Shang killed our Purple Moon Imperial Land's Son of Heaven. If it was you, you would do the same. The Purple Moon Imperial Land elder said angrily, RZUTNZ has been dismembered by that brat. He was injured by us when he was trying to escape, so he might have already escaped. All the experts were startled, and all of their faces changed a little. Chen Shang coming here was not a good thing, because Chen Zhang's concealing ability was extremely strong, and with such a miraculous disguise technique, Chen Shang coming here would only threaten many of the big powers, especially those who had enmity with Chen Shang. HMPH, what are you doing? Don't think that I don't know. You tricked a large group of people. Not only did you collect 1,000,000 spar, you stole their storage magic treasure, and then forced them to mine spar. If I was the one who got in here and received this kind of treatment, not to mention killing the Son of Heaven, I will kill all of you too. All the time, you humans would call us fiendish demons, but here, we are much cleaner than you. The demon empress sneered, causing the ancient powers' faces to redden. The Bear King laughed out loud, that's right. In this aspect, we are much cleaner than you human beings. No wonder your Son of Heaven was killed. He should be alive. Don't drag my Peach Blossom Imperial Land into this, we didn't do that. Yao Shumai said indifferently. My Qin family did not do that, but I know that most of the ancient powers in the east did. There are also Feng Clan, Flying Immortal School, and Qianzan Mountain. The patriarch of the Qin family said. Chapter 956. The people from the Purple Moon Imperial Land and the other forces cursed in their hearts, but they had no way to refute Chen Shang. They had to capture Chen Shang and obtain the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword, otherwise they wouldn't be able to make up for their heavy losses. My super martial school didn't either. Just now we met over 3,000 rogue cultivators who were rescued on the way here, and when they saw me, they told us a bunch of crimes your Purple Moon Imperial Land committed, which sounds like they're from the evil realm. Congratulations to Purple Moon Imperial Land for successfully becoming a member of Evil Realm. Ji Yu Dongchen laughed as he flew over. Evil Realm. Upon hearing these two words, everyone felt their hair standing on end. This was an archaic taboo, even during the flourishing era of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord. Everyone knew that Ji Yu Dongchen was a descendant of the Ancient Spirit Clan and that he had the blood of the Ancient Spirit Clan in his body. As for what kind of ability he had, none of the strong warriors knew it, but according to the historical information they had, he was very strong. Gu Dongchen, you're saying too much. One of the clan elders of the Purple Moon Imperial Land had a gloomy face. He wanted to kill the smiling young man in front of him, and actually said that they were members of the evil realm. I said you can use a very proper method to recruit people to mine resources for you, that's what we did. But you chose to use such a vicious and despicable method. What is the difference between you and those evil realm fellows? The Demon Empress said. Stop being so noisy, I advise you all to quickly release those people, or else Chen Shang will find them. Hee, no matter how many days you have, it won't be enough to kill him. You all know the reason why my master intentionally drove him out of the super martial school, it is so that he will have no scruples. Now that he is able to return alive from the 10 heavenly sacred mountain, maybe he will have a great opportunity and his strength will increase by even more. Gu Dongchen laughed. Then we must kill him. The patriarch of the Feng clan gritted his teeth as he spoke. Chen Shang had Yulong blood S, adding that he had eaten relived Dan S, his injuries healed very quickly. Just as he was about to leave quietly, the sky suddenly darkened. The little demon empress expression changed drastically. It's all your Purple Moon Imperial Land's fault. Now it's all good. The Purgatory Sky Demon is coming. Purgatory Sky Demon. Chen Shang wanted to know what this thing was, to actually be able to make the demon empress of the heaven realm so nervous. Not only her, everyone else was the same. Even the expressions of the 5 elders who were chasing after Chen Shang earlier changed drastically, and they did not dare to say anything more. The blue sky was soon shrouded by a layer of black gas, causing the entire land to darken. The originally lively world instantly turned lifeless, gloomy, sinister, and filled with gusts of cold wind. Waves of cold, gloomy wind whistled. The heaven thunder purgatory was extremely terrifying. The cold wind whooshed, the sound made people feel scared, as though there were thousands of demons rushing over from all directions. Chen Shang suddenly felt his body becoming very heavy, being pressed down by a pressure. That force had an extremely evil qi, and also had a hint of cold qi. Through that pressure, it wanted to flood into the bodies of the people, causing them to feel a chill. Who destroyed this place? I once warned you that such destruction is not allowed. The voice was emotionless and had a sinister air to it, causing everyone to feel a chill down their spines. The Demon Empress immediately pointed at the elders from the Purple Moon Imperial Land. It's just these few fellows, they have nothing to do with us. We only rushed over because we sensed some movement here. This Purgatory Sky Demon was extremely terrifying. It was said that he was the guardian of this Heaven Thunder Purgatory. When they came in, this fellow had already warned them that they could mine resources, but if they were to destroy this place, they would be punished. Some of the ancient powers had disapproved before, but in the end, they all died miserable deaths. An elder of the Purple Moon Imperial Land immediately explained, "We are chasing after a fellow who possesses a green dragon demon slain broadsword. Heaven Devil King, you should know how powerful the green dragon demon slain broadsword is." The person with the green dragon demon slain broadsword really appeared. That's fine, I will find him and seal the green dragon demon slain broadsword. This really gives us a headache. The Heaven Devil King said. When the elder of the Purple Moon Imperial Land heard this, he was overjoyed and heaved a sigh of relief. Since you've destroyed this place, I won't kill you. I will only punish you a little. Heaven Devil King said. The black chi that shrouded the sky suddenly disappeared, and transformed into a gigantic black palm. With an extremely fast speed, with an incomparably terrifying power, it slammed towards the 5 clan elders. Boom! The huge black palm hit the 5 elders and a strong power burst out, tearing open the space. It made the 5 elders fall down and heavily hit the ground. Serves you right, Chen Shang secretly cursed in his heart. He had actually set his sights on these 5 fellows from the Heaven Devil King. They were only heavily injured and would be able to recover well after a period of time. Seeing this, Chen Shang clenched his teeth, and flew out from the forest. Stepping on the shrinking step, he instantly arrived in front of the 5 elders. Seeing Chen Shang suddenly appear, everyone was surprised. Seeing Chen Shang calling out his green dragon demon slain broadsword, they all guessed what Chen Shang was trying to do. Sure enough, Chen Shang roared. He raised his divine blade high up and poured himself into the terrifying dragon power, causing the ground to shake slightly. Then with the speed of lightning, he chopped down. Countless of blade chi struck the ground like a fan. The sharp blade chi enveloped the area, and the bodies of the 5 clan elders were as though they were all slashed by countless of sharp blades, turning into meat strips. These 5 elders were all immortals who had undergone the Nirvana realm cultivation, but now, they were shattered by a little kid with a single slash. They died such a miserable death, which could be considered as Chen Zhang's means. It was the first time that many of the experts present had seen Chen Shang, such as the Demon Empress of the Demon Charming Association, the Bear King of the Black Vade Mountain, the Patriarch of the Qin family, the powerhouses of the Eastern powers, and some of the experts of the Demon and Devil realms. It really is a green dragon demon slain broadsword. I let them go, yet you want to kill them. This was the voice of the Heaven Devil King. I wanted them to die, yet you let them go. Are you going against me? Chen Shang replied indifferently, and started running while stepping on the shrinking step. Thump thump thump. He had only taken a few steps forward, yet he was already dashing towards a distant plane. Everyone could only see a small dot. It's the shrinking step, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's footwork. Yao Shumai shouted in shock. Now, everyone believed that Chen Shang had obtained the inheritance of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Brat, you are always the one who gets the inheritance of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Today, I will kill you too. The Heaven Devil King's voice had a hint of anger. Following that, a huge claw the size of an eagle claw gang appeared above Chen Shang. Arrogant demon, how about you kill yourself if you can't kill me today? What are you? You don't even dare to show your face, and you still dare to spout such nonsense. Chen Zhang's words did not stop until one was shocked to death, and yet he actually dared to speak of Heaven Devil King that even the strong warriors were afraid of. Chapter 957. The Heaven Devil King was completely enraged and turned into a giant black hand that grabbed down towards Chen Shang. Chen Shang stepped on the shrinking step. His speed was extremely fast, causing him to fail again and again, pressing onto the ground and forming huge palm prints that emitted traces of evil chi. Sky Demon Domain, you won't be able to escape. Heaven Devil King roared. A layer of black chi suddenly surged out from the ground, forming a gigantic whirlpool, which produced a suction force that seemed to be consuming the ground, causing Chen Shang to be unable to advance. Although Chen Shang was currently stepping on the shrinking step, it was as if he was walking on the ground. You must die. Following Heaven Devil King's gloomy and furious voice, a huge black palm appeared in the sky and smashed down towards Chen Shang. All of the experts held their breaths as they watched the scene unfold. Heaven Devil King's strength had completely shocked them. They did not think that Chen Shang could survive, but it was a pity that the green dragon demon slain broadsword could possibly disappear along with Chen Zhang's death. Chen Shang saw a black shadow pressing down with an earth-shattering force. Waves of evil energy roiled and was extremely brutal, causing the ground to crack, and he felt as if his body was about to be squeezed into a meatball. Demon, the one who died was you. Chen Shang calmly roared, his entire body shining with a golden light, the powerful devil suppressing holy power all activated by him. The green dragon demon slain broadsword in his hands turned into gold. The dragon cries sounded out, bringing along an imposing aura that caused demons to tremble, shaking the world. Chen Shang slashed out with his blade towards the gigantic black hand that was pressing down on him. A gold chi shot out from the green dragon demon slain broadsword like an angry golden dragon, sweeping the sky with its gigantic body, and released waves after waves of brilliance like the scorching sun. The gigantic black hand that was going to crush Chen Shang to death suddenly released a ball of gold light. The black chi disappeared without a trace, and the golden dragon that was formed from devil-suppressing holy power released a series of furious roars, rushed into the sky and also disappeared. Chen Shang gasped for breath. His hand that was holding onto the green dragon demon slain broadsword was trembling. A moment ago, he gathered devil-suppressing holy power, dragon power, heaven fire, as well as the strongest 9th level of devil-subduing method. Using half of his strength, he had finally defeated the Heaven Devil King. However, his expression was still extremely solemn. He swallowed a pellet which could help him recover innate chi, and stared at the sky. Just as Feng Clan and his leader were about to fly over to Chen Shang, Ji Yu Dongchen suddenly appeared in front of them and stopped them. You two, behave yourselves. Chen Zhang's power was extremely terrifying, especially the experts of the Devil Realm and the Demon Realm. They were all communicating using their consciousness right now. Whether or not to join hands and deal with Chen Shang, the power Chen Shang displayed just now was all aimed at the demons, especially the terrifying thing called the devil-suppressing holy power. After the disappearance of the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable, the devil-suppressing holy power had been lost to this day. I never thought that he would actually grasp it. The little demon empress frowned, her expression congealed, as she clenched her jade fists very tightly, as though she could attack Chen Shang at any time. Chen Shang actually did not escape immediately, which was unexpected to everyone. He glanced at the demon empress who was ready to make a move, and said with a cold smile, "Come over right now if you have the guts. As long as you can't kill me today, even if it means going to heaven or earth, I will still kill all of your demon charming association's demoness. From the looks of it, you have just passed through the second and third nirvana tribulations. I can kill you with a raise of my hand. If I were to make a move, you would definitely not be able to escape. As long as you hand over the green dragon demon slain broadsword." Wishful thinking. The sword is with the person. The sword is dead, and the person is dead. Why don't you just try your luck and kill me with a raise of your hand? There are many people who have said those words to me. I would like to see if anyone can really do it. Chen Zhang's arm shook, raising up the green dragon demon slain broadsword. The soft green light surrounded the divine blade, and although the green dragon engraved on the blade was small, the people in the distance felt that it was like a living dragon. The demon empress frowned, her face unexpectedly full of hesitation, but it seemed like she did not plan to attack. "Chen Shang, you and my ancient wasteland devil sect are irreconcilable, we will not let you off today." He took out a giant axe and dived down from the skies. At the same time, the 5 elders of the ancient wasteland devil sect followed closely behind him. Back then, they had all been part of the great calamity. Chen Shang sneered, a crafty look flashing across his eyes. "Not only will you thank me for helping you get through the 9 nirvana tribulations and fly to the heavenly demon realm, you even want to kill me. There will be no good end to being ungrateful." Quote, "You are wanted by the demon god order. The tomb of the son of the demon god has been dug up, causing my ancient wasteland devil sect to lose many outstanding disciples. This is a blood feud." Even though Zhang Tianlu had said that, his eyes that were filled with greed and ecstasy stared unwaveringly at the green dragon demon slain broadsword in Chen Zhang's hands. Looking at his expression, it was as if he could obtain this divine blade at any time. Just as Zhang Tianlu and the rest were getting close to Chen Shang, a few sets of black qi shot out from the ground, enveloping Zhang Tianlu and the others, and then they heard terrifying hisses coming out from within the balls of qi. In a few moments, Zhang Tianlu and the others were swallowed by the black qi, and then the other few balls of black qi gathered together, fusing into a humanoid form of black qi. This person formed from black gas only had a pair of blood-red eyes, and one could hear a familiar voice coming from his body. "Brat, I didn't expect you to know what I'm going to do. You actually don't intend to leave, do you want to have a fight to the death with me?" This was the voice of the Heaven Devil King. Seeing Zhang Tianlu and the others die instantly, those people who wanted to attack Chen Shang earlier were drenched in sweat. The demon empress was even secretly cursing Chen Shang. She was almost provoked by Chen Shang just now, but when she thought about it, she felt that Chen Shang was doing it on purpose to scare her, so she did not go over. "You are just an evil demon primordial spirit that has been dead for many years, using the energy you gathered here to swindle me. If you really have the ability, then you don't need to scare people. You just want others to think you're very strong, but if the people here join hands to deal with you, you have no chance of winning." Chen Shang sneered, "Otherwise, the evil energy that you have gathered for so many years will not be defeated by my blade. But, you must have paid a great price for devouring those people's strength." The Heaven Devil King sneered, "Nonsense, you belittled my strength only because you are afraid. The one who kept saying that I'm weak seems to be you." Chen Shang laughed lightly, and then slashed towards Heaven Devil King. Although the Heaven Devil King had just revived and devoured a few people, he was not weak at all. Seeing Chen Zhang's divine blade coming at him, he did not dodge, but chose to direct a punch towards the blade instead. Don't look at how he was formed from the black qi. The evil qi that he released when he punched contained a very strong force that caused Chen Zhang's divine blade to release waves of dragon roars. Not knowing why, Chen Shang suddenly understood the Heaven Devil King in front of him very well. Furthermore, he could feel that the green dragon demon slain broadsword was inexplicably excited. He suspected that a long time ago, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord used the green dragon demon slain broadsword to deal with this Heaven Devil King, which was why the green dragon demon slain broadsword had memories and passed these memories down to him. Chapter 958. The Heaven Devil King found Chen Shang hard to deal with. Furthermore, Chen Shang had the same kind of power as the dragon in him. He didn't know how Chen Shang managed to cultivate it. Moreover, it also carried a kind of anger that he hated the most. He did not know what kind of fire soul Chen Shang had in his grasp, but he actually felt an inexplicable fear. Furthermore, when the three powers fused together, it would be even more powerful, not to mention the green dragon demon-slain broadsword S. Chen Shang also felt that the Heaven Devil King was not easy to deal with. This time, he could be considered to be truly fighting with the Heaven Devil King, and the messages that the green dragon demon-slain broadsword gave him were getting more and more numerous. He already knew that the Heaven Devil King did not have a corporeal body, and was only supported by an evil devil soul. The Heaven Devil King relied on his powerful devil soul to devour all kinds of power before transforming into all kinds of shapes. Back then, when Heaven Devil King was at his peak state, he had actually exchanged over 100 blows with him. After 100 blows, he was slain by 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord. Tens of thousands of years later, the Heaven Devil King borrowed the remnants of a devil soul's rebirth to gather new strength. Chen Shang waved his divine blade and hacked at the Heaven Devil King frantically. That year, this was what the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord did, so he decided to give it a try. Even though the effect was not very good, he could temporarily suppress the Heaven Devil King. This won't work, this guy is in a state of devil soul, it's useless for you to use brute force, because there is a difference between you and him, and you are merely relying on the devil suppressing holy power and other things to suppress the demon. Long Shui said. Chen Shang naturally understood all of this. He felt that if he wanted to defeat the Heaven Devil King, he had to use the God-slain method. However, he had not mastered it yet, so it was impossible for him to execute it. 5 pairs of long arms suddenly appeared behind Heaven Devil King, stretching out towards Chen Shang, with each of them wielding a blade made of black qi, at the same time, wielding them crazily at Chen Shang. Although the swords were formed from black qi, Chen Shang could feel the sharpness of the blade, and as they slashed towards him, they left behind trails and trails in the air. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword hummed like a dragon's roar as Chen Shang brandished the divine blade to block the black blades of the Heaven Devil King. The Heaven Devil King's 10 arms were extremely nimble, and they could suddenly disappear, then suddenly appear. Chen Shang swung his blade to block, but it was simply useless. In that moment when he brandished the blade, he could feel that there were a few vital points on his body that were locked by a few cold forces. Unexpectedly, there were 6 blades thrusting over. Heaven Devil King's 10 arms seemed to suddenly appear, causing Chen Shang to not have enough time to dodge. Die! The Heaven Devil King laughed sinisterly, thinking that his blades were going to pierce through Chen Zhang's body, but then he saw that Chen Zhang's body suddenly emitted a golden red glow. S body was suddenly covered by the gold-red scales, and the hand holding the green dragon demon-slain broadsword had even turned into a dragon claw. Chen Shang now looked like a war god dressed in dragon armor. The golden red scales of the fire lightning on his body pulsated, giving off a strong aura of fire and lightning that pervaded the area. Sure enough, those who cultivate the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu are all like this. This is his martial spirit, it seems like he was forced into a corner. The demon empress said in a deep voice, her beautiful eyes seemed to be recalling something. Chen Shang released his martial spirit and merged it with his own body, allowing him to wear a dragon armor which produced a very strong defensive power. At the same time, his arm also turned into a dragon hand, allowing him to activate the power inside the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Fire and thunder attribute. Why is my martial spirit not the same as Grandteacher's, the 5 elements dragon soul? Ji Yu Dongchen said. This brat is truly powerful. If it was any of us going up, I am afraid that he would have already been devoured by the Heaven Devil King, because Chen Shang has the power to restrain these devils, and the evil force of the Heaven Devil King is unable to pose any threat to him. If not, with the difference between them, Chen Shang would not even be able to take 10 moves. Although the little demon empress did not plan to make a move on Chen Shang did make her feel terrified. What all the rankers did not know was that under Chen Zhang's dragon armor, there were hidden profound Wu diamond armor S. Heaven Devil King seemed to have discovered something. He could sense that there was something very terrifying hidden in Chen Zhang's body. Chen Zhang's body trembled, the devil-suppressing holy power surged out from his body, transforming into 9 golden dragons, bearing their fangs and brandishing their claws, roaring again and again. The 9 dragons merged into one, transforming into a gigantic dragon head, burning the heaven fire and fiercely smashing into Heaven Devil King's chest. Boom, boom, boom. A burst of golden red light wave shook out, and at the same time, a ball of golden red flame exploded, engulfing Chen Shang and the Heaven Devil King within it. Within the flames, there were bursts of explosive sounds of golden red lightning bolts. Streams of golden red lightning bolts rained down like a torrential rain, producing thunderbolts that shook the hearts of the people. And every single lightning bolt contained the power of the 9th level of the devil subduing method. Chen Shang had already nimbly used all of these martial arts, and could combine them together to form many different forms. 9th level of the devil subduing method, devil suppressing holy power, and, if my guess is not wrong, his flame should be the legendary heaven and earth flame. The demon empress was indeed an expert from the heaven realm, she saw more things than others. When the experts heard the little demon empress words, they immediately let out a low sigh. Chen Zhang's flame was actually the heaven and earth flame, the Jizun among the pill refining flames. No wonder his pill forging skills are so incredible. She had seen Chen Shang concoct pills before, but Chen Shang had only appeared as Li Renshan at that time. When the Heaven Devil King was struck by the lightning, he released waves of angry roars. It could be seen that Chen Zhang's attack was not that effective, which was also very normal. Chen Zhang's cultivation was too inferior to the Heaven Devil King's, and he had to rely on his own strength to restrain the demon in order to come to this step. Chen Shang flew out from the sea of flames, his expression became serious, and the devil-suppressing holy power on his body disappeared. He suddenly retracted his spirit chi, and just as the many experts were feeling suspicious, a powerful killing intent surged out. All the experts quickly thought that Chen Shang might be using the Heaven-Earth killing method. Legend has it that cultivating the Heaven-Earth killing method requires a very terrifying killing intent. The killing intent released by Chen Shang caused one's heart to tremble. It was hard to imagine that such a terrifying killing intent was hidden within Chen Zhang's small body. How did he do it? Legend has it that because many people cultivate the Heaven-Earth killing method, they all gather a large amount of killing intent and thus become Kumo demons, but the young Chen Shang was able to control the boundless killing intent very well, which was hard for people to understand. What are you doing? Sensing this killing intent, Heaven Devil King suddenly thought back to the crazy slaughter that 10 Heavens Supreme Lord had done. Those powerful purgatory heavenly demons were chopped like grass by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord using their green dragon demon slain broadsword. Chapter 959. The killing intent released by Chen Shang caused the entire sky to change color, causing everyone to feel an indescribable fear. I want to kill you. A large illusion suddenly appeared behind Chen Shang. It was a large expanse of Lion Mountain. Countless gigantic dark green Lion Mountain appeared behind Chen Shang. At the same time, a huge wave surged out from behind the Lion Mountain and clashed against the Lion Mountain, giving rise to a huge storm. This was the first time many experts had seen the legendary 10 Heavenly Sacred Mountain, but now, Chen Shang had released him. Although they did not know what he wanted to do, the experts felt that this had something to do with the Heaven-Earth killing method, because Chen Zhang's killing intent was completely integrated into the Lion Mountain's tsunami map behind him. This was the power of the earth. No matter how strong a human was, no matter how many humans there were, in the face of the power of nature, they were all insignificant in the face of this power. This was the ground killing that Chen Shang had comprehended, allowing him to simulate the power of the earth. At this moment, the entire sky demon purgatory was filled with the sounds of violent waves. The power released by the sea and the Lion Mountain, when merged together, naturally produced a kind of power, and turned into a living spirit grain diagram array. Both of Chen Zhang's hands held onto the blade, and suddenly there was a gust of wind blowing him away. Causing him to dance all over the place, he raised the green dragon demon slain broadsword high, and the gigantic picture of the Lion Mountain tsunami suddenly squeezed into his body. The wind between the heaven and earth became even more terrifying, and in the sky there were still some lightning bolts, causing the lightning sea Chen Shang released earlier to blow away, and the Heaven Devil King that was inside the sea of flames was locked on by him. The Heaven-Earth killing method is indeed powerful, transforming power into the power of mountains and rivers in nature, producing an irresistible might, fusing with nature, obtaining the power of nature. The little demon empress' beautiful eyes glittered. You are far worse than 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, I am not afraid of you. Although he said that, but he felt that Chen Shang was unintentionally releasing the power of an emperor, and his heart could not help but tremble. The power of the mountains and seas. Chen Zhang's green dragon demon slain broadsword could have become heavier along with the increase in his strength. Now that he had simulated the power of the seas, his green dragon demon slain broadsword was able to release the immense might and surging power of 10,000 mountains. The clouds in the sky churned, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. It was as if there was a gigantic beast struggling beneath the entire ground. A dragon's roar suddenly sounded out. It was a sound that came from a lightning strike that pressed down on heaven and earth. On the dusky ground, a dazzling green dragon flashed towards Heaven Devil King. Although it was only for a short moment, everyone felt that the dragon was real. If you can't kill me in 10 days in Beijing, it's even more impossible for you. Ah! The Heaven Devil King let out a ferocious shout as he was engulfed by the green dragon. The green light around him flashed explosively, as if the green dragon was fighting against the Heaven Devil King. A few moments later, the heaven and earth calmed down and the sound of Heaven Devil King's fiendish laughter could be heard. Ha ha, I told you before that I would never die. Even 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord could only scatter my soul back then, but I was still reborn. Quote. Chen Shang laughed coldly, he is him, and I am me. He cannot not represent me. You will die today. Quote. His expression was calm, and the Heaven Devil King only had half of his body left. However, he was quickly recovering by absorbing the spirit energy, and the speed at which he recovered was so fast that it could be seen with the naked eye. Divine Sense Sea Soul Devourer. Chen Shang bellowed in his heart, and suddenly, a ray of golden light shot out from above his head, and then, another illusory image appeared. It was actually a calm golden ocean. This was something Chen Shang had suddenly realized after activating the Lion Mountains tsunami map. The golden and calm ocean emitted a holy and holy faint golden light. Taiji Yin and Yang map S suddenly appeared beneath Chen Zhang's feet, the Tai Chi diagram started to spin slowly, the golden ocean above his head was also revolving slowly. In just a blink of an eye, their speed had increased tremendously. The experts only felt that the consciousness they had released had disappeared all of a sudden. Is this also heaven-earth killing method? Why is it different from the legends? The Qin clan's patriarch shouted in surprise. I don't know, but it seems to be able to swallow consciousness or spirits. The heaven-earth killing method contains everything, it's hard to be sure. Yao Shumai did not dare to use her consciousness to look at the golden-colored divine sense sea, otherwise her consciousness would be pulled out for some unknown reason. The patriarch's eyes flashed with killing intent, and said to an old man beside him, you must kill this child. The Heaven Devil King roared, and after its half-body sprayed onto the golden divine sense sea, it was pulled over by the whirlpool, causing Chen Shang to engulf him. Up till now, Chen Shang had finally unleashed his God-slain method, but he was still very unclear about it, because the God-slain method and the ground killing did not have a specific attack concept, and only relied on a sudden thought to unleash it, but the power was extremely strong. Chen Shang knew that the God-slain method was not only a devouring, it was definitely a very strong attacking power, it was just that he had yet to comprehend it at the moment. I am only one in a million of the purgatory heavenly demons. Don't think that by killing me, you will be able to shake the world and rule the world here. You don't have the power of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, so you will definitely die here. The golden-colored divine sense sea above Chen Shang slowly disappeared, while the golden-colored soul divine sense sea of Chen Zhang's group slowly melted and devoured the newly devoured Heaven Devil King. The evil consciousness within was completely erased, leaving behind a pure soul power for him to devour. It was over. The Heaven Devil King, who had made the experts fear for many days, was actually killed by Chen Shang. Back then, even though they could not completely kill him in Great Yan Jing for 10 days, Chen Shang managed to do it. That year, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord did not have the power to suppress the devils, but Chen Shang did. This was also the reason why he could suppress the Heaven Devil King. Leave the green dragon demon slain broadsword behind. The patriarch of the Feng clan shouted, and he and a few other people flew towards Chen Shang. At the same time, the patriarch of the devil race, the leader came with a few elders, focusing Chen Shang in their hearts. Just as Ji Yu Dongchen was about to go over, he received a sound transmission from Chen Shang, don't come over. Don't go over there. Ji Yu Dongchen immediately told Yao Shumai, who wanted to help. Chen Shang kept his green dragon demon slain broadsword and laughed sinisterly, please look up at the sky. Without Chen Shang to shout, all of the experts felt a strange chi in the sky suddenly, they raised their heads to look, and saw a golden mist billowing in the sky. This is robbery power. An old man shouted. Chen Shang laughed out loud, stepping on the shrinking step, he ran towards a direction and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Hurry and get out of the way, don't let the robbery power gather together. The patriarch of the Feng clan shouted as he ran in the same direction. The people who were by Chen Zhang's side just now were all locked on by this kind of bizarre robbery power. This kind of robbery power was very different from the Nirvana doom they had encountered before. Only Chen Shang knew that this was his soul undergoing heavenly tribulation. After he had comprehended the God-slain method, although he had only learned one move, it had allowed his soul to break through and enter a supernatural realm, summoning heavenly tribulation. If they did not dodge, when the robbery power gathered together and attacked one person, they would be in danger. Chapter 960 Primordial Pill God. The robbery power that Chen Shang had triggered this time was extremely strange, and those few people could deeply feel that this kind of robbery power was aimed at their souls. They had never encountered a situation where the robbery power was aimed at their souls while they were in a transitional tribulation. There were very few people who cultivated the divine way, so even Long Shui did not know what kind of situation she would encounter along the way. Her imperial dragon race's divine way was very different from a human's. For example, they weren't undergoing their tribulation right now. Chen Shang also did not want to gather with that group of people to face the divine soul tribulation. After all, this was the first time he had encountered such a thing, and he was worried that something might happen to him. Right now, even though he had his divine soul, he could feel the terror of that robbery power. Boom! All of a sudden, a thunderous sound came from all directions, and the few people near Chen Shang were struck by a golden bolt of lightning at the same time. Golden lightning struck down from all four directions. The golden lightning suddenly flashed and enveloped the entire sky like a golden electric net. That domineering pressure made people feel the oppression from their souls. Chen Shang had originally thought that he could use the shrinking step to dodge, but he didn't expect that he would still be struck squarely in the middle. Like he had expected, his physical body did not receive the slightest damage, and instead his divine sense C was struck by the golden lightning. The divine sense C was located in a very strange place in the depths of his mind, almost hidden. He did not expect the golden lightning to hit him directly. Chen Zhang's divine sense C was currently fluctuating violently, his soul was also numbed by the golden lightning earlier. It had been a long time since he had suffered such an injury to his soul. This is not Nirvana Doom is not like this. The Demon Empress looked into the distance and released her divine sense to investigate the remaining power of the golden lightning. This kind of energy is specialized to attack souls and such things. Could it be that Chen Zhang's divine sense is undergoing a tribulation? The little Demon Empress slightly opened her small mouth, her jade-like face was filled with surprise. How strong was a consciousness that could attract heavenly tribulation? I say, Demon Empress, as long as you know it, don't even mention it. My junior martial uncle's foundation is almost exposed by you. It's equivalent to having his clothes taken off by you. He wants you to take responsibility. Ji Yu Dongchen grinned. When the crowd heard Ji Yu Dongchen's words, they immediately distanced themselves from him. To dare take liberties with the Demon Empress was very dangerous, but the Demon Empress was not angry. She only asked, is Chen Zhang's master really just Huang Jintian? As far as I know, his master is only that crazy old man. If you don't believe me, go and ask him. Actually, you don't have to worry about my little martial uncle. He's a good person, and as long as you agree, I'll find a chance to have a good talk with him and you can dispel your worries about him. Even though your demon charming association is scary, he definitely won't do anything to kill your spirit demon beings. Ji Yu Dongchen laughed. With your looks, enticing him to hand over the green dragon demon slain broadsword shouldn't be a difficult task. The Demon Empress gave a light snort. Just then, he said that he wanted to exterminate the demoness of my demon charming association. Demon Empress, if you let go, then please do not interfere in this matter. I will definitely snatch the green dragon demon slain broadsword away and also kill Chen Shang. His demon suppression was like the rebirth of the devil suppressing heavenly Venerable, and could not be allowed to happen to him. Black Fiend Mountain's Bear King said coldly. That's right, we must kill him. A Devil Realm great leader said. Hee, this is just like a guilty conscience. Although this demon charming association has not committed many evil deeds, who doesn't know what your devil race and the Black Fiend Mountain evil demon have done? You all are afraid of retaliation, but forget it, as long as Demon Charming Association does not take action against my junior master, you all will not be able to threaten him, had an indifferent expression. The Demon Charming Association did indeed cause fear in others, so he wanted to help Chen Shang resolve the Demon Empress doubts. Demon Empress, I know that your demon realm's evil demon and demons are very lacking in medicinal pellets. Chen Shang is just an alchemist, his future prospects are limitless. When he changed his name to Li Renshin, he had brought out many high-grade medicinal ingredients. I believe you already understand this already. Ji Yu Dongchen laughed. If you decide to talk to him, I will arrange a good place for you guys. I guarantee that you won't be disappointed, and at that time, we might be able to cooperate. Your Demon Charming Association has a lot of spiritual medicines, but it's very difficult to refine them into pills, and you old ghosts in Pill City can't be trusted. Becoming friends with Chen Shang was indeed a good thing, but the little demon empress had been schemed against by many humans over the years. She had always been like this at the beginning, so she did not trust humans at all. In the distance, there were flashes of golden lightning, followed by the rumbling of thunder. This time, it wasn't a single thunderbolt, but a continuous one. The sky was covered by dark clouds, and golden lightning bolts rumbled down from all directions. There was an unending stream of thunder that shook the hearts of those who heard it. No matter how Chen Shang ran, he would always be struck by that golden lightning. He only felt that the divine sense sea in his head was about to flip over, the golden divine power turning into seawater and violently undulated. Sea-suppressing divine dragon, Long Shui's clear voice came out. Inside the 9-turn dragon god mantra, the length of the sea god dragon suddenly appeared and he immediately started channeling his spirit power. Inside the divine sense sea, there was a little golden dragon floating above the head of the soul which was exactly the same as his. The reason the divine sense sea was so stable was because his soul had suffered a violent attack. The lightning descended, and when it struck his soul again, it was all blocked by the little golden dragon. Very quickly, his divine sense sea calmed down, and the golden lightning became more and more concentrated. After being struck consecutively dozens of times, the little golden dragon was completely dispersed. Afterwards, he calmly and quickly followed the instructions on the 9-turn dragon god mantra and condensed another small dragon on top of his soul. After repeating this more than 10 times, when Chen Shang tried to condense the sea-suppressing divine dragon once again, he failed, but another abnormality occurred. His soul inside the divine sense sea was actually wrapped up by a pearl, and when the lightning struck the pearl, it felt like it was nourishing the golden pearl, causing it to become more and more sturdy. More than 2 hours passed. The ink cloud in the sky dispersed, and the golden lightning did not appear again. Chen Shang opened his eyes. At this moment, he looked like he had slept soundly, his spirit was extremely good, and his entire person was brimming with energy. He was like a living dragon in a great state, he had never been in such a good state before. His sea of consciousness had completely evolved into divine sense sea, the god power inside was extremely dense. What he needed to do now was to expand the number of divine sense sea, so that they could contain even more god power. He could clearly see the elegant and charming face of the little demon empress. He could tell with a glance how different Mu Jialan and Yao Shumai were from when they wore the same kind of clothes. Pride of the World Pill God 960 _ Pride of the World Pill God.